Reidsville won the 2003 and the 2002 titles. So after a year off from the championship game, they're right back here where they belong, two of the most winning programs in the state of North Carolina. Soupy Campbell joins us for this broadcast. And Coach, Reidsville features Tayon Graves, a sophomore running back who's going to eclipse 1,500 yards this week. And these two teams are similar because their quarterback, Teague, the coach's son, has almost 2,000 yards passing. So a very balanced attack, and that makes it tough on defenses.
I'll tell you what, the defensive coordinators from both teams have a nightmare in this ball game because you're looking at some of the best skill players in the state of North Carolina. And right now, if you are Shelby, you've got to figure out a way to get 7 in the box, stop the running game, and be able to play good, solid man or a solid zone defense. If you don't do that, it'll be a long day.
And the Rams will throw and run a good balance, but Shelby does the same thing. We saw them win last week against Forest Hills, and a lot of people talk about Tavoris Jiley, who's going to be attending Chapel Hill next year, but the guy that made all the plays last week is the fullback, Arsenio Parks. He is one of the 2 1,000-yard rushers in the backfield. They play both ways, and they do a good job.
Well, that's the problem, stopping this football team. You can't key on one man. If you do, the other one's going to beat you. They found that out last week. Forest Hill suffered because they tried to stop one man and didn't stop both of them. And once again, it comes down to can Reidsville's defense contain these 2 explosive backs and a pretty potent passing attack.
Well, it should be a close game. These two programs mirror one another, and both coaches said, hey, it's like playing ourselves. It should be a good matchup as Reidsville takes on Shelby for the 2AA state crown here from Chapel Hill. We'll give you the starting lineups to kick it off in just a moment. Shelby wins the toss and elects to receive. Well, check that. They deferred. So we'll have a kickoff coming in just a moment as the Golden Lions take on the Rams. And the Rams are 4-0 in state title games since changing their nickname to Rams. What were they before Rams? Golden Lions. So we would have had 2 Golden Lion teams here. Both teams feature a predominantly gold color scheme. Reidsville counters that with blue, Shelby with black. So we'll see gold and gold on both sides of the field. Actually, all 4 teams in the 2A finals have gold as their predominant color. There must be something to that championship color scheme.
Well, that's true, and that blue is a really dark navy blue. As a matter of fact, when I looked at it, I said, Ryan made a mistake. He said there were 3, and there's 4, and you pointed out to me that my old eyes can't tell blue from black. But, yeah, and I tell you what, you like those dark colors. I've always liked those dark colored jerseys, especially because I really think it makes your kids look meaner.
It's intimidating.
And it can be intimidating. And but the one thing about it, when you get to this level and you're in this game, I don't think anybody's going to be intimidated because to do what these 2 teams have to get here is just, it's something that not many teams are able to do. And to do it consistently like Reidsville's done it is really amazing.
This is the 20th championship game appearance for Reidsville. They have won 15 state championships. And Shelby is back after being here a year ago. The Golden Lions have won 4 state titles in football. The last one coming, I believe, in '98.
Right, had a chance to meet Jim Taylor, one of the architects of that, and just one of the real great guys in coaching today. Of course, Chris Norman, the head coach now. He's an old Lees McCray guy, by the way. Got to put a little Bobcat plug in there.
He was the defensive coordinator here for the last title, and the kickoff is taken by Preston Roseboro back at the 15-yard line for the Golden Lions, and Shelby will start at the 35-yard line, and here's the offense. Daryl Montgomery was a sophomore quarterback last year when they got to the title game, wants to redeem a few fumbles from last year's game. Roseboro and Jolly in the backfield with the fullback Parks. Odom's the favorite receiver with Tyler Rabb, a very versatile tight end. Montgomery and Bridges block the left side. Matt Kale snaps it, and Carpenter and Burnett will block on the right front. And there you see Montgomery's numbers entering play today. 13 touchdown passes, over 1,500 yards passing. A man in motion, and it's a pitch back to the right side, and it's Jolly on the first play from scrimmage. You'll get it across the 40. That's about a 4-yard gain, which is what you want out of your feature back. Here's the defense for Reidsville with Pickard, Brown, and Reynolds up front. A 3-man front with 5 linebackers: Jones, Connolly, Wooten, Blackwell, and Bowman. Julius Graves and John Moyer are the corners with Marcus Pickard as your safety. And they run a very big front.
Tell you what, they're real aggressive front, too. They get after you. A real great cutback on that last play by Jolly. He did a fine job just to pick up about 3 or 4 hard yards.
They call it a 3-4 stack, but they run 3 linemen and 5 linebackers. Left side, Roseboro, and he'll get another 4 yards. So you'll have about 1.5 yards for a first down out of a predominantly run offense. Now, I say predominantly run. It's about 3 out of 4, but that one pass play, they will rip off big chunks of yardage on the pass game, and third down and 1.5 is very manageable.
Well, the thing about it is they're not known as a throwing team, but they can throw, and that's the most dangerous kind because you really are playing run all the way, but they can throw the ball when they have to.
They average better than 100 yards.
And that's going to hurt them right there.
And you cannot have too many guys in motion and somebody jumping early.
Yeah, they had a man in motion. Evidently, the tight end didn't pick up the sign, and he went on the motion call.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
The Southeastern Officials Association from Fayetteville sends us this group of individuals. Referee there is Tom Egan. The other officials, Tony Hare, Robert Reeve, DeJohn Napper, and Greg Perkins. Did you get a look at head coach Greg Norman? And once again, we like to credit the officials who've made it this far. 8 crews working today, 8 championship games, and they're the best that the state has to offer. So 3rd and 1.5 becomes 3rd and a long 6. Little misdirection. They'll run it to the right side, and it goes nowhere. Tripped up in the backfield, Jolly, and he's going to be playing on this field for Saturdays to come. He's already committed to North Carolina. That time the turf was unkind, and the Reidsville Rams will force a punt out of Shelby on their first possession.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you watch right here, this is really an aggressive defense as they come through. You got to do a better job. Offensive line has to do a better job of slowing down that rush. Big surge by that defensive front hurt them.
Punting for, or rather receiving for Reidsville will be Karan Pashal. And he will fakes the pickup at the 13-yard line. That's where the punt will go. And Tyler Rabb, we mentioned him as the tight end, is the punter, and a good job there. Let's take a look at the offense for Reidsville. We mentioned Eric Teague, the son of Jimmy Teague, the head coach. And you see the rest of the guys in the backfield where Tayon Graves and Chris Peoples, the main guy. Red and Norman will block the left side. Penix will snap it with Johnson and Scales on the right side on the offensive line. We'll take a look at the defense after this play. Eric Teague on the season, 47 yards shy of a 2,000-yard passing season, 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. First down play is a handoff. Handed directly to the Reidsville back, Tayon Graves, and he tries it on the first play from scrimmage and doesn't get anywhere as the Shelby defense swallows him up. Little, Lale, McClam, and Ross are the guys up front. A straight 4-3 with Keys, Scott, and Allen, the linebacking core. Roseboro and Jolly are the corners, and Sutton and Williams are the safeties. And you'll see a lot of 2A action at the 2A level. We talk about that throughout the course of the year. The 2A squads play a lot of guys both ways. And at Shelby, it's their feature guys. I mean, you had the quarterback play in safety last week. Quick pass on the first play. Was it picked off? Yes, it was. Intercepted by Jolly.
Right there.
Tavoris Jolly making a huge play. And that will change the game completely around because not only do you get a takeaway, you got excellent field position.
And that's the kind of break you play for in a playoff game like this. Now watch right now. Jolly does a great job of reacting to the football here. Not that, it's not really that hard throwing the ball. It sort of overthrows him a little bit. But Jolly reads the ball and breaks right as soon as that ball's released. Jolly's breaking right now and gets down under the ball, makes a great catch right there.
So Montgomery and company are right back out on the field, and they're at the 24-yard line. Pitch it to Jolly. He's going to make a cutback move, and he'll get it up past the 20-yard line.
The one thing you've got to do when Jolly runs the ball is you've got to be ready for the cutback. You know he's going to cut it back sooner or later. If you're a linebacker pursuing and you over-pursue, he will make you pay. He did that just then and picked up 5 yards.
He's definitely a guy that can gash a defense if they're not in the right spots. When you play against Shelby, and the same can be said for Reidsville, you have to be in proper defensive position. It's all fundamentals against these guys.
Yeah, you can't go running crazy out there on them.
And they'll give it to Parks up the middle. The fullback will knock it across the 20 into the red zone now at the 19-yard line.
Well, I'll guarantee you they had scouts watching this Shelby team last week, and they know what Parks can do. And those front people, they're not going to go away from home too far because they know Parks can run the football.
There's the head coach, Jimmy Teague of the Reidsville Rams, and these two teams exchanged films. They've seen the last three games of each's playoff runs. Reidsville beat up West Stanley, shut them out, beat Cummings 21-7, and Bunn last week 34-3. As a matter of fact, in 4 games, here's the pass play. It's caught. Excellent job there by the leading receiver is Antonio Odom, 82. Coach, Reidsville gave up 10 points combined in 4 playoff games. That's playoff competition.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Here's what we're talking about. See, that run fake freezes everybody. Now your receiver does a good job of getting separation, separates into the negative. What we got, he comes back a little bit, backs that guy off, and that's why we were talking about. This is not a throwing team, but they can throw, and there's a big difference. A lot of times you get teams that aren't throwing teams because they can't throw. This team can. They just got great runners and use them.
Inside the 10-yard line, so first and goal to go. Parks takes it down inside the 5, or right at the 5-yard line.
Offensive line gets a lot of credit for that. Parks does a good job on a little slant, a little bit of misdirection there as he starts to the right, cuts back to the left. Offensive line really seals well and gives him a good hold there.
Shelby offensively scored 49 points in the first round against North Lincoln, then 47 against East Henderson, and then in 2 road games, 27 and 21 points. As competition gets better, they've been in closer ball games, but they've only given up 17 points in the last 3 rounds combined. Jolly around the right side. The defense swallows him up. He dives forward to the 1-yard line. Hanging on for dear life there was John Connolly, number 31. But Jolly drags the pile down to the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal to go from the 1-yard line.
And you see why Jolly's got the reputation he has and why he's going to be playing in Carolina. Watch this right now. Now Jolly does a great job, but also look at the gap right there. Look at the linemen. They are staying on their blocks. You know, that's one of the things when I look at a football team and when I was coaching, I scouted. Does the offensive line get off their blocks too quick? These guys stay with the block all the way to the end of the play.
3rd and 1 from the 1. Parks, no. Barely got the ball handed off to him before he was swallowed up. An excellent play by the lineman on that play for Reidsville. 55, Javante Reynolds was the first guy there.
That's something right now. If you're Chris Norman and Shelby, you're not real happy about that. That shouldn't happen. That's a goal line defense. You know those guys are slanting hard. You know they're down. You got to get your pads underneath theirs. They didn't do it that time. He made a great play. He just slanted straight to Parks.
Joe Brown, the defensive lineman, also there. 4th and goal from the 1-yard and 2-foot line, just over the 2. And Shelby wants points.
Power I formation.
Power I to the left. Jolly splits the gap and scores a touchdown.
Tell you what, Chris Norman, I don't think he ever even thought about a field goal. He knows he's got it down there that deep, and in a game like this, he needs all the points he can get. And if he doesn't make it, they're still leaving him really deep. So, you know, if you're Shelby, you got to feel good about this.
Jolly didn't get touched until he was about a foot from the goal line. And that was a big gap, thanks to 2 big blocks and 2 blockers going through the hole to blow open the doors.
That's what the power isolate does down on the goal line. It's my favorite formation for that position.
Extra point, low and left.
Yeah, I think somebody may have got a hand on that. Looks like they had a big rush on it. He either pulled his foot up or somebody slapped the ball. Couldn't tell from here.
So Shelby strikes first in a game that should feature a lot of points. And for more information on the sidelines, we'll introduce the 3rd member of our crew down on the Kenan Stadium field. That's Sam Smith. Sam.
Thank you, Ryan. An exciting game already with Shelby jumping out 7-0. Interesting point. Reidsville has made the final game, as you pointed out, 20 times, won 15 state titles. That's quite a record. Other side of the coin, the 8th visit here to the finals for Shelby. They are 4-3. The other interesting part about this is number 1 and number 2 in the state of North Carolina in number of wins, with Shelby having the most, Reidsville right behind. The other irony of that, they've never met before until they play for the big title here today in Chapel Hill. Big game.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
These 2 teams, as winning as they are, they've never met.
Well, when you think, you're talking about 28 state finals
Between the two,
and they've never met in the state finals. That is, that's unbelievable.
Part of that is Reidsville is right on the border of being a 3A school, and they bounce back and forth. And Shelby was 2A, 2AA. They were 2 single A last year, 2 AA this year. It just goes to show you how they bounce around a lot. So after scoring a touchdown and going up 6-0, Shelby with the first kickoff for them. They boot it out to Ernest Blackwell, who returns it. A good return out to the 32-yard line. That's pretty good starting field position on the kickoff. And let's take another look at the touchdown.
And look at this offensive line. Now, we talked about the surge. The first time they stopped that with the power eye, that ended that chance of the surge. Watch those linemen get pads on everybody. Running backs do a great job going in there and picking up the linebackers.
That kind of makes it easy for Parks. He just follows their escort right on across the goal line into the blue end zone. Second drive of the game, and they'll go back to pass. Teague in trouble, lets her fly, gets rid of it, and a flag comes out. So they're going to get him for grounding. You'll lose it down and some distance here.
Yeah, he never got outside the pocket, never got outside the tackle, and he didn't get. I don't think he didn't get the ball to the line of scrimmage. If he gets the ball to the line of scrimmage, they may have given him a doubt, but he didn't get the ball to the line of scrimmage, so that sort of killed that right there.
Yeah, it fell about 5 yards shy of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, waiting for the announcement right here.
Intentional grounding. That's a 5-yard penalty and a loss of down.
So it'll be second down and deep. The penalty is from where the quarterback threw it.
Yep.
So take that all the way back to the 20-yard line. So after pretty good starting field position off a kickoff, actually this is going all the way back to the 14-yard line.
Yeah, 14-yard line. So if you're Shelby, you got to be feeling good because everything's breaking right for you right now. But remember, this is a Reidsville team that has been really resilient coming back. I mean, and they've been here before. They're not going to panic this early in the ball game.
They've scored no fewer than 21 points in every game this season. A little delay on the handoff. Get it up the middle for Tayon Graves, and he'll chew up about 5 yards to the 18-yard line.
This is where that loss of down hurts them, though. You know, if you just have if it's just a regular penalty, and you get the down back, but you lose the down too, so now it's third down and long as we watch right here. Does a good job of breaking that first set of tacklers, but can't break down the second group.
Gives you kind of a taste of his breakaway ability, and he may be able to snap one off here in the ball game as he gets more carries. Give it to him again, Graves picking spots. He'll get across the 20 and we'll be down right around the 23-yard line. Nice tackle on the play for the Golden Lions. Shuntre Smith playing a little linebacker there, made the stop.
Well, I think right now the big difference in this game looks like it's going to wind up being the fact that Shelby does have a fairly potent passing attack, whereas I think Reidsville's a pass when we absolutely have to. Shelby can, they can pull it out and pull out all the stops and just start throwing the ball.
Reidsville has 4 guys with more than 20 receptions on the season.
Right.
This punt will go, well, it started to stop at midfield and then takes a Reidsville bounce and will be down right around the 45-yard line. Whereas on the other side, Shelby has 86 receptions. More than half of those, 44, have gone to Antonio Odom. So they sort of focus in on one guy when they want to throw it, whereas Reidsville has a guy with 37 catches, 25, 24, and 20. So when they do pass, they spread it around a little bit. And then they really haven't had to pass much because when you look at their last 5 ball games plus their 2 first playoff games, they gave up a touchdown and they shut out 6 opponents in that 9-game stretch.
Right.
6 out of the 7 opponents were shut out, which is impressive. But so far today, they've given up a touchdown, and there's Jolly wrangling it across midfield for another 5-yard gain on first down. And we've done some college games, some high school games. One of the first things that you like to talk about when a team has a predominant run game is, can you get 4 or 5 yards on first down? It really makes it easy for your offense.
And that's the whole thing. When you're a run-predicated offense, you've got to get 4 or 5 on the first down, and Jolly does a good job. But they like to pull both their backside linemen and really put a lot of pressure on the point of attack. And that's what I think makes them so successful, because these linemen are really mobile. All right, somebody moved. I'm not sure who. There's going to be a call here somewhere.
Flags out of the backfield and flags at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be against the offense.
Be against the offense right now. Now, the thing about it is, this really puts them in on the
foul. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
This really puts them in. This puts them in an almost have-to-throw situation. But I'll tell you what, the way they threw that ball in that first series, I don't know if you're Reidsville, if you want them in that situation or not. I mean, and that's one of the things that this team can do. They can throw it when they have to, and they can be really successful.
Second down and 10 yards to go. After the 5-yard gain on first down, the penalty puts them right back just ahead of the original first down line of scrimmage. Run it back to Parks on a little cross play out of the backfield. Takes a good block downfield to the 30, knocked out of bounds near the 25-yard line. Knocked out there by John Connolly, number 31. But a terrific run and a great play call there. A little misdirection in the backfield, delay, kind of a counter play.
Well, the thing they like to do is we were talking about, they love to pull backside linemen. Now watch, they're pulling their guard and tackle this time. They come through and everybody seals back. If you're a defensive lineman and you read that lineman pulling, you've got to get on his tail because he's going to take you to the football. And they're not doing that right now, and they're getting hurt because of that. They're not getting anybody at the point of attack.
Antonio Montgomery, the left tackle, did pull. And this play gets blown up in the backfield as Parks tries to carry it for no gain, and we'll send it down to the sidelines once again, and Sam Smith.
The only player to play in the Shrine game coming next week in Spartanburg. That, of course, is Mr. Jolly. He came in only 79 yards shy of the school record at Shelby. Maurice Moni held it in 69 and 70. He rushed for 1,281 yards in a single season. 12:03 coming to the game today for Jolly. You have a feeling he's going to get 79 more before this game's all over.
He may get 79 on one play.
He needs 79. He's got 45 so far, so we'll track that. He needs another 34 yards. This is Parks up to the 25-yard line. And again, we talk about keying on Jolly. Parks scored a touchdown on defense a week ago, and then he turned around and scored the first offensive touchdown. He had 2 of the 3 touchdowns at Forest Hills, and that's another thing. This team was at number 1 and at number 3 and got wins on the road each of those 2 weeks. Reidsville has really dominated in the playoffs, has given up only 10 points, a field goal last week and a touchdown 2 weeks ago. That's it. First 2 rounds, they shut them out.
Well, last time they just ran an option dive, and I tell you what, if I'm the offense coordinator, as we get a real hard pinch in there, if I'm the offense coordinator and saw what happened, nobody outside, if he keeps the ball and goes around in on the play before this, then they're probably sitting in the end zone. So if you're the defense coordinator, you better get somebody on that pitch man and on that quarterback. They weren't there that time. And this time, though, defense does a great job. They just blow this play up really quick as they come in off the corner.
Ernest Blackwell, number 41, absolutely cut Parks' legs out from under him. They're going to try, at least line up to try, a 43-yard field goal.
I'll tell you what, this is a hard day to kick field goals on there. You got what we call a heavy day with the real moisture in the air and all that sort of thing, so it's going to be tough.
It's high, end over end.
And he got it. Great kick. That was a great kick.
How about that? That had a couple of yards to spare. Terrific kick for David Royster, the backup quarterback, and he boots it through. The junior puts up 3 more points, and Shelby leads 9-0 here in the 2AA state championship football game from Chapel Hill. The Reidsville Rams 9-0. This kickoff goes well out of bounds, and that will be excellent starting field position now for the Rams.
Yeah, I was watching their kickers before the ball game, and they were kicking field goals well, but they really seem to be struggling with their kickoffs. We weren't getting a lot of depth, and weren't getting it back there where you want to get it. But they're going to get great field position here. But right now, if you're Shelby, you still got
kick was kicked out of bounds. Team will take it on the 35-yard line.
Take another look at this kick. I believe the field goal try here. There's the boot. A lot of leg there.
I'll tell you what, that thing got up in the air quick and it got up high. And on a day like this, just watching kickers kick, this is the second game that's been played here today. Nobody's really kicked the ball like that. Good kick.
So the Rams come out there trying to get some more points on the board. Handoff out of the backfield, nothing there. This will be a loss of about 4 yards as they just destroy the play. Daquan Bowman, one of the other runners, just really didn't get much on the season coming into the game. Bowman, 53 carries, 287 on the yardage.
Well, both these teams, we talked about their mirror image of each other. They really run very, very similar plays. So for the defense, it's not hard to make a lot of adjustments here. You're just getting ready to play your offense.
Inside the final minute of play from the first quarter. 2nd down and 12. Quick pass, little bubble screen. It's blown up. Oh, my goodness, what a hit. Wow. Casey, or rather, Shuntre Smith was in the area, but Deshaun Key, the linebacker, came in and made a huge hit. Just took out that play because he had blockers in front of him. If Key doesn't hit him, should be about 5 or 6 yards, and we'll get more from Sam Smith.
Well, Key is a man that has 118 tackles coming to the game today. You see, not only roams at his corner spot, but he can stop the run well. He's an athlete a lot of people looking at. Doesn't have a lot of size. There's a huge heart in that jersey, though, guys.
And that is the final play of the quarter, and a big one for Shelby. Key blows up the bubble screen. It'll be 3rd and 11 when we come back. 1 quarter in the books. Shelby with a touchdown and a field goal, and they lead at 9-0 in the 2AA championship football game. Fans, but not those fans. Making some noise, keeping your throat warm.
Tell you what, a television camera is a wonderful thing, isn't it? It gets people all excited.
It does. We only had 3 passes in that first quarter, which is why it went by so quickly. Shelby got 9 points. Reidsville still trying to score. 3rd down and 11. Teague from the shotgun. Drops back, steps up, hit as he throws, and therefore it went short. Trying to hit Karan Pashal.
Nice call, defensive play call. They ran a delay stunt on that. Make sure, that there wasn't a run and sent the linebacker through, and that's where that extra pressure came up the middle, forced him to have to run out of the pocket there. Tell you what, I'm really impressed with this game plan. Chris Norman's coming up. Now look, right there, you see the arm now. As he runs through, that's where they picked the linebacker up. Just good squeeze down right there. Nobody leaps, nobody jumps. They just squeeze down to the quarterback.
There's Jimmy Teague, Rams head coach. This punt hits at the 40 and rolls forward to the 38-yard line.
Tell you what, you want to see a true one-step punter. He punts with 1 step. It's going to be hard to block a punt from him unless there's a bad snap, because he sure doesn't give you much to shoot at.
So Shelby will come back out in the black jerseys and try to put another scoring drive together.
Tell you what, this Shelby team has been really impressive. We saw them last week, and I thought they looked pretty good. But right now, I tell you what, they're showing me a whole lot.
1st down and 10 from the 38-yard line. A lot of misdirection. They'll give it back, cut back inside for Preston Roseboro, number 24.
That was great discipline on the part of the defensive front. Instead of running deep in the backfield and following the ball and then getting caught up in a counter coming back, as soon as they realized the ball was away, they penetrated 1.5 yards and squatted, let him come right back to him, and stopped him for about a yard gain or yard loss.
Stayed at home there.
And that's what you've got to do.
This defense for Reidsville has allowed 17 points in the last 9 games combined. They make a stand here on 2nd as Parks carries for a couple. And it'll be a 3rd down and 9 play coming up for the Golden Lions of Shelby.
I tell you what, twice now they've run that little dive off with the option action afterwards, and I'm looking outside on the corner, and I don't see anybody out there. And if I'm the offensive coordinator from Shelby right now, if I'm the offensive coordinator from Shelby right now, I'm going to have that in the back of my mind, because I got a feeling if they need a big play, they can go to that.
3 receivers right. Parks in the backfield to block, and they'll sack him. Right. Parks did not get a good job with a chip on John Connolly, number 31, and he gets back there to wrap up Montgomery, and there you see Connolly right there.
Yeah, Montgomery never had a chance. That's a great defensive attack through. He attacks right through the chip block, and he does it just the right way. He goes outside, doesn't let himself get caught up inside. You notice he took that on his inside shoulder, so he kept outside contained. And that's a point. All defense coordinators, you work and work and work on that, and it's really hard to get kids to understand that, because the instinct is to always go inside. And
Montgomery was rolling that way because that's where all the receivers were. Good job there. They almost get to this punt.
Boy, that's a good one.
And that's a big one.
Nice
Fielded
catch.
over his shoulder at the 26-yard line. Going back the other way, slipping out of a tackle, but finally being pulled down. I believe that was Karan Pashal there.
That was a tremendous catch of that punt, though, because if he doesn't catch that ball, that thing is inside the 10 easy.
I
mean, it could have gotten in the end zone, but, you know, take a look at this. I mean, this is a great athletic play right here. Beautiful punt. High, nice hang time. Drives him all the way back, and he has to catch it going away from the ball. But if he doesn't catch that ball, that's great field position for the Shelby Lions. But he catches it, and now they've got good field position on about the 35-yard line.
First down and 10. Another drive for Reidsville, trying to get some points on the board. Quick pass out, complete, and a block downfield. And it'll be a first down play there. And a nice pass from Teague to Bowman on the near side.
I tell you what,
the short side.
That sprint out action where you just slide that quarterback out like that, and you vertically basically overload that side of the field. You got a man deep, you got a man short, and then you got your quarterback coming out. And all the quarterback does, he just waits till the corner either commits, or if he doesn't commit, then he turns it upfield for 4 or 5 yards. If he does commit, then he dumps the ball. And he dumped the ball that time. They got a good game for a first down.
Right over the defender, and 12 yards for a first down at the 48-yard line. Quick out pass to the right side, caught by Julius Graves, and he'll cut it upfield across the 40, and Reidsville will have a first down. A little bit of offensive momentum there.
Well, what Reidsville's saying is all right, we can't run the ball, but what we can do is we can run the ball after we catch a pass and put it. We're going to put them out in the flat, hit them with a pass, and then let them go ahead and run one-on-one with their defensive backs. And right now they're moving the football. Watch this now. There's nothing fancy about this. You're just hitting him. It's almost like a quick toss out there more than a pass, and then let your running back run for about 10 yards.
That was the quarterback, Montgomery, making the stop. He's out there playing a little safety. On the shotgun, Teague, a quick handoff up the middle, and a nice play, a face mask right there. And the flags come out. They got him by the jersey. He won't go down. I'm not sure if his knee hit or not, but he kept running. That's terrific effort there for Daquan Bowman. And as Tayon Graves didn't have a lot of success, Bowman has really ramped it up here.
And I tell you what, there's going to be a face mask. You're right. There's going to be a face mask on the end of this, and that's going to put the ball even deeper into Shelby territory. Might be offsetting penalties now. I see two flags down. 3 flags down.
I think everybody saw the face mask. It was right out in the open.
Yeah, the other one official picked it up. That usually means the same call.
And you see a shot of both head coaches.
We have a personal foul, face mask on the defense, half the distance of the goal, first down.
On the end of a terrific run. Take a look.
Right.
After contact, how many more yards he gets. There's the face mask. He does not go down. He sits on a defender and keeps his feet. That's just good heads up running there.
And I tell you what, this is great. This is 2 great shots by our camera crew. Look at the agility and the ability of him. And he doesn't quit. A lot of kids go down like that when they feel that face mask. He just keeps running. That's a tremendous football play.
He got 11 yards after the penalty and then tack on the half the distance.
Right.
Good effort by Bowman. Handoff up the middle. A quick hitter there for Graves, Tayon Graves. He's a sophomore. Bowman is a senior. Teague is a senior, so they've got some guys to replace after this season, but Tayon Graves, who's already the school's all-time single-season rush leader, will be back next year, and he'll get 2 more years to crack at his own record.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're Shelby, you really got to get low right now. You've got to get some kind of push up front.
Second and goal from the 4-yard line. Fake to Graves, pass. A little screen pass. He'll get close to the goal line, but stopped. That's Julius Graves. And he's a junior, so he'll be back. I know they're not worried about that right now, but I'm just setting you up for later in the game when we talk about what these 2 teams can do to get back to this level next year.
I'll tell you what, and there are some great young players. This is a nice stop right here. Looks like he's going to go in, and they just come in, and you can't see it because the official blocks is there. But they did a great job of just stopping him from not getting in the end zone.
Guess who was there to make that hit? Tavares Jolly.
I tell you, Jolly's just an all-around good football player, and that's one of the reasons Carolina wanted him.
They've got their choice of where they want to play him, because he can do just about everything.
Fumble the ball.
Fumble on the snap, but somebody did something they weren't supposed to do, or there was a timeout. I don't see a flag, but I heard, well, there's a flag. I heard whistles, and I heard guys running in.
Right.
Quarterback sneak from the shotgun is not one of your favorite plays.
No.
Offsides.
Yeah, well, I think what they were trying to do right there, they were going to run some kind of little sweep action, figuring they can put a point man at the point of attack. Now they've got a 3rd and 6.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeating it down.
Let's take a look at this right here. So you see the snap, he catches the ball. He's going up into the line. Looks like they were trying to just let him pick the open hole there. Big play right here. Now, if you're Shelby, if you can hold them out, it's a real. If you can keep them to a field goal, it's a psychological win for Shelby.
3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Big play here for Reidsville. We'll throw it back across on the screen, and he dropped it right in and out of the hands of Julius Graves. He took off upfield before he had the football, and now Reidsville, I think you got to come away with some points here.
Yeah, and that's what, like I say, you need points, but if you're Shelby, you got to feel good. They got the ball on your 1-yard line, and even though a penalty moved them back, but you still got to feel real good, like maybe this is your day, you know, because they had it looked like it was going to be a 9-7 ball game. Now 9-3 will be about the best it can be, and you still got to make this field goal. And like we said earlier, this is a real heavy, cold night. It's hard to kick a ball on a night like tonight.
From the right hash, Mark Tuttle, number 14. Try the field goal.
Outstanding kick. Great kick.
From the right hash, tough play for the right-footed kicker, and Reidsville gets their first points of the ball game. So a touchdown separates these two teams in near the midway point of the second quarter. It's 9-3 Shelby. Does the Massey ratings rank Shelby as the #1 team in 2A and ranks Reidsville number 5. As far as defenses go, he says Reidsville is the 2nd best defense and Shelby's is 3rd in all of 2A. And that's pretty much why this game is as even as it is, with 6:25 to go in the first half from Chapel Hill, home of the Carolina Tar Heels. Keenan Stadium, Ryan Rose with Soupy Campbell and Sam Smith with you on our Time Warner Cable production of the state championships, 2AA style. This kickoff taken back to the 35-yard line, and then it is swallowed up quickly. Dwayne Jones, number 11, and Jamal Broadnax, number 52, there to make the stop.
Well, you know, one thing, we've watched kickoff returns tonight, and one of the things a lot of people don't understand is we watch this kickoff right here coming up short. He gets to the 35-yard line, but high school football, really most high school coaches look at the kickoff return a little different than the pros and the NFL do, because they feel like you should always get the ball up to your 30-yard line. If you don't get to your 30-yard line, you've lost yardage. And if you look at the way this game's gone tonight, they've kept it between the 30 and the 35 all night.
Jolly nearly tripped up in the backfield, and he will lose a couple of yards. Thanks to a good stop, Ernest Blackwell, number 41, was there, along with Javante Reynolds, number 55. Both guys getting back there to make the stop. Ball sitting at the 32-yard line for a loss of 2.
Tell you what, now, if you're Shelby, you've got to look at that hard corner, because that's giving you problems on 2 or 3 different plays. And you got to look at your playbook and say, all right, what do we have when they give us a hard corner like that? One of the things you can do is what they've done. That's gone to a double wing formation, gives you an extra blocker on that corner.
Montgomery will throw it. Quick pass out to Odom. Stretches it out up to the 44-yard line. That's Javis Sutton, number 81, who made the nice catch, and let's send it once again down to the sidelines and our buddy Sam Smith. Third down and a yard. Parks falls forward. Good thing he's 6 feet tall instead of 3 feet tall, because if he was just a yard tall and he fell forward, he wouldn't have it. But his extra 3 feet got him to the 45-yard line for a first down.
I'll tell you what, the play before that, though, was a great play, because when he goes down, he basically stretches it out. You know, as you come in, you look now, they stuff him there, and then he just leans back, drives off his heels, and just pushes the ball through. But the play before that was an outstanding play to get it that close, because it looked like he was about 3 or 4 yards short, and he just lunged and extended to get it to 1 yard.
First down and 10. Roseboro was in motion, and they pitch it to him, and it is just absolutely destroyed by Ernest Blackwell.
And that's that hard corner again. If you're Shelby, you got to know they're giving you that hard corner. You better put somebody out there on him. You better pull it up inside. You've got to do something. Watch the corner come now. Tall sweep right there, and he's standing there waiting for him. He's almost there before the ball gets there. You've got to do something to slow that down.
That's a good example of why that defense coach gave up 17 points in their last 9 football games. That's less than 2 points a game. And that's against championship caliber opponents. Bunn, Cummings, West Stanley, Ledford, all playoff teams. 10 points total in 4 rounds. Montgomery, quick pass. He dumps it out to his safety valve, and this one won't get any yardage either.
But he got it back to
out of the
scrimmage.
backfield.
Yep.
And that's Marcus Pickard, number 30, who's there to make the stop.
I tell you, these defenses have really tightened up right now, particularly this Reidsville defense is playing really well right now. The first couple of series, it looked like that Shelby was going to have their way with them all they wanted, and now they're just really getting on them, and this is a great play right here. Not only that, look how many other guys collapsed to that ball. When the tackle's made, there's 2 guys waiting if he doesn't make the tackle.
We saw in the 2A game a score on the first drive, and then both defenses, it just took that long to figure out each other, and we're seeing the same kind of mode here. Reidsville's defense has really picked up on what Shelby's trying to do. Montgomery shifts, and a big lick laid on at the end of that play. He'll get about 7 yards, but they needed 15. It'll be 4th down and 8 from the 47-yard line.
Well, now if they can get a good punt off and good coverage, though, they're going to have great defensive field position. And both coaches know, I think, right now that field position has just become crucial in this game. It's going to be the team that has the shortest field that's going to come out ahead tonight, the way these 2 offenses and defenses are playing.
Shelby has a 4th and 8 now and a punt. Haskell's back at his 10-yard line. Comes up to pick up this punt. He lets it bounce, and this is going to go down inside the 10 on the 5-yard line.
And that's what we're saying, defensive field position. Now now you can really sort of rear your ears back for the running game for the first 2 plays anyway. If I'm Reidsville and I've got faith in my quarterback, I'm going to come out and throw on the first down. Watch this punt right here as it hits. Thought he was going to handle the ball. He looked like he had pretty good position on it, and he lets it hit. And I'll tell you what, if you're Shelby, you couldn't ask for a better bounce.
Here's Jimmy Teague on the far sidelines. And with 2:16, both teams have all 3 timeouts. Shelby might call some timeouts to see if they can get the ball back in good field position if Reidsville can't get a first down. Never mind. Never mind. First down for the Rams up across the 25-yard line on a terrific carry by Tayon Graves, the feature running back, number 42. I was about to start talking some field position strategy, but Graves blew all that up for me.
Yeah, and we're looking at, once they set the change clock, will start with 2:09 to go. And, I mean, this is just a great run. He gets inside. He cuts really nicely. I mean, blocking is great. The question you want to ask is where are the linebackers at? Because somebody really got on them pretty quick. That shouldn't happen. You're Chris Norman. You're not happy. Your linebackers should have made that play.
Coach Norman says, roll that clock. Roll it. Have to wait for the chains to get set there. And here's Bowman out of the backfield. Look at him. Look how nimble he is. He slips lineman, flips around. There's a late flag, and he'll get across the 40. That would be a first down. We'll see what the penalty is.
Yeah, we're under 2 minutes now. Now, the thing about that play is you've got to wrap up. You don't cut running backs like this. Watch this right here as he goes through. And, you're coming in, trying to cut him. You got to come in and square up on him and just jack him up, and they didn't do that, and he made him pay for it.
It looked like a block in the back at the end of that play.
We have a block in the back on the offense, 10-yard penalty.
From the end of the run, or from the spot, and I think he got across the first down line, so they'll actually still gain 3 yards and get a first down again. Watch at the end of the play, number 8 right there. Shoves a guy. Chris Fountain shoves a guy in the back, and
But
that's just kind of an oops play. They still got 4 yards out of it.
Yeah, but that changes that field position too, though. I mean, and if you're Reidsville, you got to be real careful. Of course, now you're looking there, emptying the backfield out, so either quarterback draw or some kind of pass. And look, they've been throwing short all night. See if they try to go down the field a little bit.
Trips to the right now. 4 receivers to the right side and a single man on an island on the left. Let's see if they look for it. They're going to throw it downfield over the middle, and is way overthrown, almost intercepted. Well, there's a reason he's a defensive back, but that's the quarterback.
Yeah, I know. I guess he's not used to catching them, just throwing them.
Just throwing them, yeah.
Well, that was pretty tough, though. He's running away, and he's taking it over his shoulder, and, you know, it's...
don't make excuses for him. He's the quarterback.
I know. He's a quarterback. Well,
he
quarterbacks
handles the football more than anybody.
No, they don't catch balls. Don't you know that? I mean, you always have a guy catch it and hand it to him. We don't want their little fingers to get hurt.
Catches the shotgun.
That's right. Yeah.
He got spun around. You saw he was over the wrong shoulder by the time he recovered.
Now, I tell you,
he wants that back, though.
As an offensive center, it used to stun me and how they would never let a quarterback catch the ball because he might get hurt. We used to give our quarterbacks all kind of grief about that.
2nd down and 6 now. Quick pass out to the left side, a screen pass, and there's Shelby there to swallow it up. Stop the momentum at the 30-yard line. No real gain on the play. There to get there quickly, Corey Brooks, number 33.
I'll tell you what, now if you're Shelby, you may think about that timeout. You're definitely going to take it if they don't get the first down this time. But you may think about that timeout because your offense has moved the ball pretty well. If I'm Reidsville, I'll take all the clock I can because right now I'm not in that great a shape. I get a first down, I think, again. You got 3 timeouts, both teams, so you can do about what you want.
And it appears that Reidsville did call a timeout. That's their first charge timeout with 58 seconds to go here in the first half. 9-6 Shelby. They'll talk it over. We'll come back and give you the final minute of play here from the first half as the Golden Lions lead the Rams 9-3. Real important down here. 3rd down and about 6 for clock, for field position, for near the end of the first half. Big play here for Reidsville.
Well, they're playing their safety 30 yards down the field, so it's going to be hard to get it all the way.
Quick pass for first down. That'll stop the clock. Complete out to the left flat to Karan Pascal, number 9. Rashad Key there to make the stop. It'll be just shy of midfield with 53 seconds. Reidsville is looking to hope to maybe get into field goal range and make this a 3-point game.
And that's what they want to do. And if you're Shelby, you got to be careful. You can play prevent, but you don't want to play prevent to a point where you let them get points.
You don't want to play prevent and let them just mow down the field on you.
Yep.
That's a good hit, and the clock will keep rolling on the pass out to the left side, but it was swallowed up nicely there. We talked about one of the receivers earlier, Javis Sutton. Well, he's out there playing some corner because of his size. I mean, he's 6 feet tall, 163, playing some corner, and he made a good lick there, and Reidsville had to call a quick timeout.
Well, and if you're Reidsville, that was a good timeout to call because you're moving the ball, and you've got 37 seconds left. You've got 2 timeouts left. Now you got one timeout left. Yeah, and so if you're Reidsville, though, that's not bad. If you can you need one big hit to get downfield, and then you got a shot at that field goal. And you got to be, like I say, you got to be real careful if you're Shelby. You want to play prevent, but you don't want to prevent so much that you let them actually get into field goal position.
Let's send it down to Sam Smith on the sidelines.
You know, when you take a look at the Shelby club, they, of course, lost their conference championship to East Rutherford in the final game of the regular season. Who do they meet in the 3rd game of the finals? You're right, it's East Rutherford. They came up with a 21-7 win and thus advanced all the way to the finals last week of the regional and now to the finals here. That's called gutting it up when it's time to play.
They played it on the road at their place. This is one of the few teams, Shelby, that lost its final regular season game and is still alive in the playoffs. Going downfield, and we'll try one-on-one coverage. Will they throw a flag?
Yeah,
yes, flags come out. As Parks, Jolly was in coverage. He was face guarding. He never turned around for the football. And so this will be a penalty. As trying to get down there was Julius Graves, and they'll call pass interference. It's not the NFL. It's not a spot foul. They only get 15 yards out of it.
Yeah, the thing about it was, and that was an obvious call, though. He totally lost the ball. Didn't know where the ball was. Now, as you watch it right here, when he lets the ball go.
Pass interference on the defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Yeah, that's true face guarding right there. He doesn't have any idea where the ball's at right now.
Good throw by Teague to get it down there. This ball will be set down at the 36-yard line for a first down and 10.
And 28 seconds to go right now.
If this were the NFL, they'd have gotten it down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and they'd definitely been in field goal range.
First and 10 at the 36. After the penalty,
No huddle.
They don't wind the play clock, rather the game clock, just the play clock. Teague from the shotgun. One receiver by himself to the left, 3 on the right. Throw the bubble screen again to the left side, and Shelby's right there to wrap him up. Nice job by the Shelby defense, and Jolly goes in to make the hit. And the clock will keep rolling as Julius Graves goes for nothing, and now that'll force Reidsville to burn their final timeout. Does it? Yeah, the water is out there, so that's the final timeout here in the first half.
Yeah,
so they're going to have some problems lining up a field goal without any timeouts. They've got to get out of bounds.
Well, what they've got to do is throw one quick pass into field goal range and then just go spike it and kick the ball, if that's their thinking right there. Now, I don't know how much range. Yeah, you got to get the first down there with, but I don't know how much range their kicker has. It looks like probably tonight a 40-yard field goal is about the max that you're going to try, and that means you got to get the ball about the 23-yard line. 22-yard line, somewhere around there. If they can get the ball inside the 25, then they got a legitimate shot at the field goal. If they don't, I think you keep going for the touchdown.
A 23-yard field goal earlier, and you're right, we're not sure what his range is. There's Coach Teague, 12-3 this season. Long-time Reidsville guy. These are the types of schools that when you get the head coaching job, you just stay there.
Yeah,
it's as good as it gets.
Just asking about an old friend of mine as we watch this. This is the big play right here
Going
now.
Up the sideline, bumped, almost intercepted.
Still got 13 seconds to go, though, but now it's going to be, is it third down or fourth down? It's going to be fourth down.
It's going to be third and 12.
Third down and 12 now. Yeah, I was asking about one of the Reidsville people as we looked at this long pass about an old friend of mine, Ron Parsons, who had actually, I think, coached basketball for 30 years at Reidsville and just retired and went to Virginia to coach. Sort of double dipping a little bit, but you're right. These guys keep their jobs forever. As long as you're successful, these small town coaches, they love them because it's something that's unique, and coaches love coaching in areas like this.
Pass caught. This will be a first down, and if he gets out of bounds, he's trying to score out of bounds at the 6-yard line. So now you have a tester here. Do you kick the 3 or do you try? I don't think you have time for 2 plays.
No, you don't. You've got to make up your mind. Do you want to go in 9-3 or do you want to take a chance going in ahead in the ball game?
Julius Graves makes the catch and a good run after the catch.
And I think they're going to roll the dice and go for the touchdown.
Jolly should have tackled him right there instead of just bumping him, and good agility by Graves to get on his feet and get down the field.
Graves makes a great play. Nice throw, too. I mean, the ball was well thrown.
And now Shelby's going to call a timeout, and that'll give Reidsville another chance to think about what they want to do here.
I don't know if I'm Shelby. It looks like they may not have had to get right personnel on the field, but I don't know if I'm Shelby if I'd have called that timeout because Reidsville looked kind of confused.
So that gives Jimmy Teague and his crew a chance to think about things. Well, if you get a little extra time, what do you think, Coach? 6 seconds, I don't think you have time for 2 plays down here unless you do something quick.
The other thing you got to know is how much faith do you have in your field goal extra point kicker? I mean, that's
well, he's got one. I mean, he hit the one from the 13 earlier, so that's about where you'd be here.
Yeah, and he got the ball up pretty good, so that's one thing you think about. But the other thing is this state playoffs, playing it, you didn't get here by playing it safe, and I'm not. To me, I think you go for the touchdown. If I've got that kind of offense, and what are you telling your offense? We don't think you can get in from the 6-yard line. That's sort of, I don't know. I think they're making the right decision by going for it.
Let's send it down to Sam for more information there.
It's interesting talking about if they'll try the field goal at the nod. And watching the field goal kicker early in the game, as you and Soupy and I both took a look, he had great range. There was a couple of times with this slippery ball here tonight, a little more damp. It got away. So I don't think they're going to try certainly that. They're going to go to the end zone, guys, and see if they can get the 6.
6 seconds to go in the first half. A touchdown would tie it. The extra point would give Reidsville a lead. You'd want a quick play here in case you don't get it. Well, trickery, reverse, and a double reverse, and it will end the half. Try the trick play.
Yeah.
Shelby's defense stayed at home and made the stop.
Tell you, those double reverses work good on Saturday afternoon in the Sandlot, but they're not quite that good on a football field of well-disciplined defense.
Well-disciplined defense indeed. They made the hit, and we'll talk with one of the coaches going out as Sam is on the sidelines. He's got wrangling Chris Norman down there. A 9-3 lead at the half for Shelby, and let's send it down to Sam. He's got Chris Norman there.
Chris, one of the things about this game is the fact the defense has to shore up, and I guess that last play kind of indicated, right?
Well, that was a big play, no doubt. Reidsville did a good job of moving the ball down the field on that last series and had a couple of big plays, and luckily our defense rose up there at the end to hold them out.
Your offense has played well against a very good defense as well. You moved the ball between the 20s pretty good.
Pretty good. Right now their defense is starting to take control of the line of scrimmage, and that's got me a little bit concerned.
Your kids here being last year, how much of importance is that for you?
Well, it's fun to be back. I think it's good that we were here last year. We're ready for it, but I don't think it makes a difference right now.
Still got to play.
Still got to play. Thank you.
So his club once again goes to the locker room with a lead, and you see that big smile. He's happy about that right now, guys.
He's really smiling because his defense stayed at home on this double reverse. I mean, you fake one way, you go another way, you go another way, and Shelby was right there waiting for him. And a 6-point lead to the locker room of the 2AA state finals.
It's at 12%.
A touchdown, 9-3, and Tavares Jolly, although he hasn't been he's been a pretty good factor. He got the rushing touchdown, but he hasn't been as stout as he has been over the last few weeks. He had the interception there, and then he runs in the game's only touchdown. 9 carries, 42 yards for Jolly. As we take a look at the team stats, Reidsville definitely throwing the ball around the field with 80 passing yards, just 22 for Shelby, but that's really not their game. You see, Reidsville had a bunch of first downs, a lot of them on that last drive, but the Reidsville turnover resulted directly into 6 points for Shelby, and that's the difference in the ball game to this point, 9-3, and 133 total yards to 69 yards. Reidsville leads in the yardage department, and we've got Jimmy Teague on the sidelines with Sam Smith, the head coach of the Reidsville Rams. Sam.
Jimmy going halftime down by 6. Talk about the first half.
They didn't get the touchdown. I really think their offense gained a lot of confidence on that last series. And, now if you're Shelby right now, you got to be feeling good because, everything really has gone your way, but you got to realize that you've gotten some pretty good breaks with the turnover and some of the other things, and you got to go out and make something happen. I really haven't seen anybody in either team stepping up and making something happen yet.
Individual stats, Jolly, I mentioned his 42 yards on 9 carries. You take a look at the bell tower here, just peeking into the Keenan Stadium facility here on the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Okay, this is a beautiful campus. Every time I come here, I just, and this is one of the few times I've actually seen it at night. Most of the time when I've come to a game, it's been a daytime game. And this place really is beautiful this time of night.
Reidsville running attack. Bowman, 3 carries, 37 yards. Graves, 33 yards on 5 carries. So 70 yards between those two young men. Receiving, Julius Graves, 5 receptions, 48 yards, and 15 yards for Bowman, 17 for Pascal. It's been that kind of game. Teague, 9 out of 14 for 80 yards. Montgomery is perfect, 3 out of 3, but just for 22 yards with a long of 11. So they've sort of dinked and dunked when they've needed to, and they've gotten first downs out of it. Pretty tight ball game. Reidsville averaging 5.5 yards a play. Shelby 3 yards a play, but Shelby had some shorter fields.
Right. Shelby also took a couple of losses back there too. And, that contributed to it. But right now, if you're Shelby, you got to feel good because I don't really think you played your best game yet, and you're ahead in the ball game, and that always gives you a lot of confidence when that happens. This next series, and we always talk about this first series for each team at the beginning of the second half is almost always crucial. But I think in this game, more so than many I can remember, if you're Reidsville right now, you really need to take the ball and shove it right down their throat just the way you did last time. Now, the other thing, remember, Shelby was given a huge amount of cushion there as they took the ball down the field.
Because of the clock.
Yeah, because of the clock. And so I don't know that, you're not going to get that same defensive look. I promise you that, And it's one of those things, though, sometimes when you play the clock, you really hurt yourself more than you play your normal game. How many times you seen a team just stun on a quarterback all game, keep him off balance, then they go to a 3-man rush, and all of a sudden he throws their way down the field.
Let's
send it down to Sam on the sidelines for more. Sam.
And the fact that Reidsville will have it to start the second half, thinking on the other side when Shelby gets the ball again. I talked to Daryl Montgomery, they find quarterback coming out. Ryan, you and I were here last year. Mistakes really cost Shelby early in the game against Southwest Onslow. He said, hey, it's a whole new ball game now. I feel more confident. My team feels more confident in me. He said that was just a nightmare we had to live through, and now we want to live the dream of a lifetime to win the title here. I think he's ready when they get the ball.
Yeah, Coach Norman told me that when we were covering them against Crest early in the season, he goes, the kid just had a bad ball game, and he tried to deflect any criticism of him. He had a few fumbles early and just sort of snowballed last year as they were blown out in the finals last season. And you could see on that first drive when they got the field goal, all the confidence in the world for that offense. And they are a year older, more mature. A lot of the same guys back. He was only a sophomore last year, and as a junior, gosh, how many quarterbacks, Coach, do you know in high school go to a state title game their sophomore year and their junior year? Their future is bright for this program.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. And the thing is that first series when they came in and just took it down the field, and did what they did, I think it really, gave him that, okay, this is a different game. I think that's when he really realized this is another game. This isn't last year, and he's definitely not playing like it's last year.
And Reidsville's had some success. They've gotten inside the red zone a couple of times. Just one field goal out of it. On the snap, Teague from the shotgun. He'll pass it over the middle. It's caught. A nice play. Bowman again over the middle. Tackle on the play by the linebacker, the linebacker, Doug Scott. But a nice catch by Daquan Bowman. And that'll be a first down for Reidsville. And they want to come out and get some first downs here, move the chains, and regain the confidence that they can move on this Shelby defense.
It was a great offensive line protection to give him that time. He had a great passing lane right there. He could see it wide open. Offensive lineman did a good job running everybody outside.
Bowman's the leading rusher for Reidsville, and he's got 3 catches for 30 yards, so his total yardage up over 60 at this point in the ballgame. And they'll give it right back to him on the delay handoff. And he'll get, the ball pops out as he crosses midfield. Let's see who pounces on it.
Well,
it's Shelby.
Shelby's ball, and that's a big break right. That's what we said. Somebody in Shelby defensively had to step up. They step up, get the fumble. Now let's see what they can do with it. Last turnover resulted in points. See if they can do it again.
They're trying to tell me that Javis Sutton came on the football there.
Let's take a look at this now and see what happens. He bounces it outside. Good run right there. He's got things going for him. And basically, as they took him down, somebody looked like punched the ball out from behind.
It was Sutton and Corey Brooks in there. And a first down for Shelby. So all the momentum they have just snatched. And Montgomery's going to throw it downfield to Odom, just overthrew it.
Tell you what, that was about 6 inches away from being 6 points.
Listen down to the sidelines for more. Here's Sam.
Well, you saw 82 trying to chase that one down, a nicely thrown ball. His nickname is the Rat. That's right. It's an affectionate name. He got it when he was in the 7th grade. Everybody kind of carries right along. Small little guy at 5'8", 145, but Antonio Odom, the little rat, can dig out any kind of a score, and he almost got one there, guys.
Rats are hard to find, too, and he's proven, and then they scamper. He's the leading receiver coming into the game. You see his numbers there, over 600 yards receiving. That's almost half of the passing yardage for this team. Handoff to the right side. It goes for naught as Jolly is taken down in the backfield by a couple of guys, notably that man, Joe Brown.
Well, one of the things that Shelby did early was they were running that little sweep like that with pulling both the backside linemen. And now it looks like, as you look at the defense now is really squeezing that thing back inside. They're trying to make him turn inside. Linebackers are filling the lanes real well, and that makes it really tough to execute that particular offense. They're going to have to come up with something else.
It's like you said, when you see guys pulling, just follow them.
That's it. They're going to take it to the football.
Reidsville did a good job there. 3rd down and 12. Fake the handoff, and Montgomery rolls left. Throws it all the way downfield. He's got a man open. It's Roseboro. Touchdown, Shelby.
I tell you what, beautifully thrown ball. Last time he was just a little bit long. That time, nothing long about it. He puts the ball right in his arms.
It's his 4th touchdown catch of the season. Preston Roseboro.
I think the secondary really was thinking run and went to sleep on that. The motion they made really froze those safeties long enough to let Roseboro get way behind them. They were thinking run and looking run all the way.
54-yard pass. How about this, Coach? He has 8 catches this season, 4 touchdowns. Every other time he touches it, he's in. Extra point try up and into the stadium stands, and Shelby takes a big lead, 16-3 on a 54-yard bomb from Montgomery to Preston Roseboro here in the 2AA state championship football game. Montgomery, we talked about he had a few miscues in last year's title game. Old enough to drive a car, and he's driving Shelby on their way to a 2AA state championship. The squib kick on the kickoff, bounded around, fumbled around at the 20-yard line, and they'll get swallowed up at the 23-yard line.
I like the idea of that split kickoff. I've always liked that kickoff. If your kickoff man can't get the ball to the end zone, then you kick the ball in the air. As we take a look. Look at this now. Look at the play action pass. See, you can see the safety of the back of his helmet there going away. You know, he's played a run. He is committed to the run right now. By the time they wake up, Roseboro's way behind him right there. But I've always liked that split kick because it really does make the man have to bend over and pick the ball up. It gives your coverage team a better chance. If you can't get it in the end zone, I always said just kick it hard as you can low.
Teague from the shotgun will hand off on first down. On the delay, they gave it to Graves, Tayon Graves, number 42, who is kind of being stifled here. We talked about the sophomore Graves with his good rushing season to this point. The school's single season rush leader, 1461. And I told you before the game he's going to get over 1,500 yards. Well, he still needs 6 to get to 1,500.
Well, I think he'll get that before the night just on virtue of carries, but I think they're going to have to do something besides run the football right now, and I think they realize that. They're going to have to come out with the offense that played at the end of the half and start throwing the ball around.
Yeah, they're down 2 scores. There's plenty of time left, but you got to get the first one before you can get the second one. The pass incomplete, trying to go out to the left side in Pascal. How about Montgomery's day? It hasn't been called on to pass a lot. Right. He's 4 out of 5 for 76 yards in the touchdown. That's pretty efficient.
Well, and that's what we were talking about. They don't have to throw the ball, but they can throw the ball when they want to. They're a running football team, and when they have to throw, or when they want to throw the ball, they can. And that's the most dangerous kind of offense right there. When you know you can throw the ball, but you don't have to, it's scary if you're not defense coordinator.
3rd down and 10. Just under 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter from Chapel Hill in the 2AA title game. Flags fly. Somebody jumped off sides. Started early. One of those things. Eric Teague was set to pass out of the shotgun. And a procedure call against the offense. So instead of 10 yards, they need a 15.
We have a dead ball foul. False start on the offense.
Now, one of the things that, is kind of surprising me is that the Shelby defense is playing their free safety almost 25 to 30 yards deep. Deep center field. If you've got a guy playing back that deep, you're basically playing 11 on 10. You ought to be able to find a way to move the ball when you got one more man. And I'm not sure. I know they're trying to throw the ball and they're in a have-to situation, but, I'm going to try. You need to put some power at the point of attack somewhere.
Teague again rolls the pocket left. Quick pass, and there's Jolly. It's amazing with these 2 guys, Jolly and Parks, and you talk about the deep safety, that's the quarterback, Montgomery, how these guys are so good on both sides of the football. You get a running back who's just back there, maybe makes a hit or 2, but he's there.
No, they're athletes, and they make plays. They're big play athletes, and that's what they do. And I'll tell you what, I was watching the entire coverage that time. There was not a receiver open anywhere. They played in your shorts defense and just didn't let anybody break free.
4th down and deep. The punt comes. Takes a bounce. Shelby's going to let it roll. And Reidsville gets the roll all the way out to the 48-yard line, but a nice short field for the Golden Lions as they will start 1st and 10. And, of course, that means about 8 guys come off. 3 of them move back and play offense.
Well, and the thing about it is now, if you're Reidsville right now, you basically have to go. You've got to go and do something defensively. You can't let them. Not only do you have to stop them from getting a touchdown, you really need to stop them from getting the ball too far because field position is really going away.
Inside of 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, and Shelby right back on the field after scoring a touchdown on their previous drive. Parks, who has not been heard from much today, gets a 1.5 yards, and let's send it down to Sam Smith.
I think you're going to see Parks probably run the ball a little more. Remember the tackle that Jolly made a few moments ago? He tweaked his right ankle. He came off, asked the trainer if he needed to sit down. The trainer said, hey, you got to tell me. He said, no, I'm okay. Let me go ahead and try another series. He looked pretty good there. But look for Parks now to start picking up just as he did last week against Forest Hills.
And that's the thing. We talked about him last week. If you key on Jolly, they'll just feed Parks and vice versa. And Roseboro's back there too, and he can do some things.
Yeah.
Parks is lined up on the fullback spot, and they'll send Jolly in motion. And they'll hand off on the inside counter to Roseboro, and he'll get it. Well, the ball pops loose, and Reidsville's got it all the way to the 45, and that man drops the football. Who's got it?
Okay, now
It's changed hands a couple of times. Shelby comes up with it.
Shelby's, but no, it's going to be, wait a minute, no, now,
Shelby comes up with it.
Shelby
yeah.
ball.
It looked like Gary Pickard, number 24, had it. He fumbled it after getting twisted around, and Matt Cale, number 52, the center, came back and fell on the football.
Now that should be a first down because they had possession, then they lost possession.
Changed.
Yeah, let's take a look right there as he loses the ball, and there comes the ball out.
And there's
He
Pickard.
picks it up and run it. Now he loses the ball.
And there's the center back there, so it's first down. They should move the chains back because there was an official change of possession. You're right, at that point, it's a fresh set of downs for whomever comes up with it.
Yeah, once that ball is advanced and in your possession, then it has to be a first down. And the official, great job being right on top of it. So a loss of yardage for Shelby, but to their advantage, they didn't lose the football, and that really hurts if you're Reidsville. That could have been a huge game-changing play right there.
Golden opportunity with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Shelby will start back a fresh set of downs at their own 44-yard line.
Remember what we said earlier, though? It seemed like everything can go right for Shelby's going right.
Fake the handoff to the right side, little play action, and Montgomery is swallowed up back at the 32-yard line. There's Ernest Blackwell. Defensively, he's made quite a few big stops. So anytime there's been a big play defensively, Ernest Blackwell's been somewhere near the football.
And Blackwell's one of those guys that really has a nose for the ball, and he makes plays when he gets there. That's the thing. A lot of guys get near the play but don't make the play. He makes the play.
John Connolly was there to wrap up Montgomery Lowe, number 31, and there's another guy we've called out, Joe Brown, number 76.
Well, second down and 22 yards to go right now, and boy, I tell you what, that's a long way.
Especially with the field position.
Yep.
Shelby's going backwards at the 32. They'll give it to Parks. Slips a tackle, dragging guys forward, almost gets out of that one, and he'll be back to the first down line of scrimmage to the 44, and if he breaks that tackle, he's gone.
I'll tell you what, that was close, and that was the Parks that we saw last week when we did the game there. I mean, that's the way he had been running. He hadn't run that much tonight, but he hadn't, of course, had the chance to get in the open like that. Let's take a look. Now, I mean, this is just strength right here in breaking tackles. I mean, right there, he breaks the tackle, he gets free, and almost gets free.
Tackled by Karan Pascal. Anytime Sam Smith talks about a player, you better keep your eye on him.
Yeah.
Because he's going to do something. Some guys are the kiss of death. Sam is like gold.
Screen
pass. Look out. Here's Parks again. If his jersey was tearaway, he would have gotten out of that one, but instead just a yard up to the 45-yard line. The old Earl Campbell tearaway jerseys.
Right. Yeah, they did away with those. I always thought that was a good idea. And, one of the things that made him go away with them was there was a defensive line coach put all his defensive linemen in tearaway jerseys. And because the offensive linemen were holding just to prove a point. And it really was a funny situation. They had about 25 jerseys later, they got his point across. But it does take a lot of in and out of the game, though, to get that jersey on. So we look at this pass right here, and then they get to him. Now the punt.
Punt taken down at the 19-yard line. Good block to spring him, and he'll get up to the 30-yard line. Good punt return there by Pascal. And we don't really give enough credit to Tyler Rabb, that man there. He's a good tight end, but he's been a fantastic punter for this group.
Yeah, and I'll tell you now, high school football, more than any other sport, I think the punter is so key, because you get an offensive team and a defensive team, but you got somebody that just cannot keep you in good field position, and it really hurts, and he does a great job of getting the ball in the air and getting people down under it.
Averaging 36.5 yards per punt on the season, and he has a couple catches for 50 yards to this point. Quick out on first down. Look at this guy go. First down yardage. The whole pile is moving forward. It's like a rugby scrum down there. I think it's Ernest Blackwell. We talked about him being Johnny on the spot defensively, but that time Blackwell gets him 21 yards.
Well, that play right there shouldn't have happened for that kind of yardage. That's a screen, but the thing about that screen was you could see it coming. They put 3 men out wide, 1 man behind him, and then they throw the ball to him. Defensively, you got to read that, and you got to, wait for him to break. See right here, everybody goes outside. Nobody takes the inside running lane, and he reads it just right.
First down and 10 near midfield. A little misdirection. They'll go right up the gut with it for a gain of about 4 yards, and a nice run there by Tayon Graves. Take another look.
Now watch this right here. See, he just throws it out there, right there. Now look, everybody's outside, nobody's inside. Linebacker takes a bad angle. That was one of the reasons that play breaks. You've got to take an angle ahead of the running back, not where he's at. Call angle of pursuit. He didn't do it that time.
Look at all those linemen pushing the pile forward.
Right.
Another quick out pass. Very similar play. Flags fly. I think it's either going to be a face mask. I don't know that official could have seen the face mask.
Right.
This might be an illegal block.
Well, what they're doing is they're going to center and 2 guards, and then the 2 running backs and quarterback in the backfield, and then they're putting everybody else over on the left side of the field and just throwing the ball to them over there and seeing what happens. It's almost like running a quick pitch, but you're getting everybody set where the quick pitch is going to wind up at.
We talked to the Shelby captain, so it looks like this will be against Reidsville. And there's Chris Norman. And he's saying, let's move him back to Greensboro.
Definitely want to take it back.
We have a block on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat that.
So block in the back. And it'll be 2nd down and 15. So they got 5 yards of offense and pushing back 10. Look at this setup. 4 receivers in a bunch.
Now,
again, this time they run it to the near
they
side.
Take it over the other side, yeah.
Shelby's going to balance their coverage. They blow up the quick out and they screen it to the left side. And good coverage on the far side. Good tackle. Heads up by Travis Little, number 80, as they throw it to the near side to Julius Graves, near side to their sideline. Let's go down for more information. Sam Smith on the sideline.
We always talk about the spy that's on the quarterback. Well, right now the spy on Graves, the top receiver for Reidsville, is none other than Jolly. Jolly is hawking him all over the field. That time he got himself caught up in a little screen and could not get in, but he finally ended up making the tail end of the tackle. That's going to be a great matchup. Graves, the receiver for Reidsville, Jolly defensively for Shelby.
Well, the thing about that formation is it's based upon the fact your athletes are a lot better than their athletes are. And it's not going to work as well when you're running against really good athletes.
Teague throws it to the left side, short arms it, trying to hit Ron Pascal up there near the first down marker. Now we're going to have a 4th down and 12 with just under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
So Shelby dodges that bullet right there, and now they've got a chance if they can handle the ball and get it back to get a good punt return.
2 guys back. Pascal will punt it. Well, there's Pascal lined up on to receive the punt at his own 38. Big punt. Montgomery takes it. And his teammate called for a fair catch. And if a teammate calls for a fair catch, that goes for all players on the return team. And he didn't see the fair catch. This is one of those tricky plays. I actually had to go look this up. Javis Sutton was back there. He called for a fair catch. Montgomery didn't see it, but a fair catch by one receiver counts for the whole team. And he cannot advance that kick.
Yeah, because you cannot hit the man making a fair catch call. Let's look and see now.
But that means the play is dead there, and he can advance all he wants. It's not going anywhere.
What it's going to be is delay
and they can't
game.
Hit him.
Yeah, be a delayed game call.
We have a fair catch signal. Delay of game on the receiving team. It's a 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
The delay of game is for running the football because the play was over.
Yeah, it's not like a flagrant foul or anything. It's just when you call it. And the other part of that, a lot of people don't know, if you call a fair catch, you can't block.
Right.
In other words, if somebody's trying to get the ball, you can't knock him off the ball at that time either.
Because he's not allowed to hit you anyway.
Yeah, I actually had that happen to me. The year they changed that rule, a guy called fair catch, and I went to down the ball, and he just wiped me out. And I didn't know anything about rules or silly stuff like that, but I learned that rule real quick.
You got some free yardage out of it. Here's Jolly.
All right,
Another good carry on first down. Get back to that inside run game up close to the 23-yard line. That'll give them 4 yards on first down.
Okay, well, now Shelby, what they did, they made a little change here. They've gone to their power I formation. That's the formation they scored the touchdown off of. And that's what we're saying. You've got to get some guys at the point of attack. Got one man coming off a little bit slow right now. Yeah, he sort of limped off, got halfway off, thought he could play, and then turned around and ran back. So
they stopped the clock.
Yeah, they stopped the clock for him to get out. So he's got to come off.
Looks like Parks. Can't tell his numbers. Jersey's all
wrinkled up there.
Okay, Travis Little, one of the tight ends. You see Montgomery's day-to-day, very efficient. 5 out of 6, 79 yards. Basically, he's just done what they've asked him to do, and he's managed the game quite well. Parks around the block, moves it forward, and he'll be perilously close to the first down at the 29-yard line. Well, I like all the little shifting and moving and guys turn and block. It's just it looks complicated, but they just practice and practice this stuff.
But what it is if you look at it, they run the same play. They just give you different fronts. And when you do that, the angles actually for the running backs are almost always the same way. They may, go with a double wing. They may go with a single wing type look or something like that. But the back getting the ball always comes from the same place. And the 5 up front guys, it never changes. All you got to know is what's the hole and what's the backfield action, and you just block your man accordingly. So it's not as complex as you would think it would be.
And they do it so well.
Yep.
Parks up the middle. On the first, they did give him the first down. Right. He'll have about a couple of yards to the 31-yard line, and Sam Smith's got more on the sidelines.
Well, Travis Little is one of the 2 returning offensive linemen of last year. The others are Mark Carpenter. But Little just went down. It looks like it's an ankle. He's trying to run on it. They're going to put a little bit more of a tape on it. Also look like they're going to put an ankle brace on it. He wants to play, but the trainers want to make sure that he's shored up before he's able to come in. Big cock here for Shelby out of the lineup right now.
Yeah, because he's a good one, too. Thing is, if you're a lineman, though, and you do have an ankle, that may be one of the hardest positions in the world because you have to drive off that ankle so much with weight, and you're bearing the weight of you and usually another man.
Over the middle, Montgomery threads the needle,
Beautiful
and it's
pass.
caught. Holy cow, nice grab by Odom.
And he put that ball right on the money. I mean, he threw it to a spot. That ball's right or left. Either way, it's coming back the other way. He put that ball right where it needed to be, and once again, that's that efficient passing game we talk about. They don't have to, but when they want to, they can deliver the football, and he does it there.
And he takes a lick, but he holds on to it.
Right.
Terrific play by Odom. We talk about him, the leading receiver for the team, nearly half of the yardage and more than half of the catches this season. First down and 10 into Reidsville territory at the 47-yard line. Lining up in the wing bone offense. Fake the pitch. They'll get it back to Roseboro inside, and he'll get swallowed up.
See, and that's what we're talking about. They ran that little wing-back reverse. Sometimes they run it out of 2 wings. Sometimes they run it out of fullback, tailback, and the wing. But it's always the same action, the same blocking action. It's just you got the backs that are away from the play really don't mean anything. The near back is always there. And so it's not as complex as you think it is, but it definitely gives defenses a lot of trouble.
Because the ball goes in so many different directions off of the same play. It's just fun to watch a good team run.
Oh, yeah. When they do that sort of thing.
Under a minute to play, they'll give it to Jolly. Bounces it outside to the right. Follows his pulling lineman up to the 46-yard line. He'll gain 3, but we'll have a 3rd down and 9. And this may be coming up here, the last play of the quarter, if they get it set in the next 3 seconds.
Okay, they're going to have to run one more play because they actually set it with, I think, 26 seconds.
Well, they haven't run the play clock, so the play clock is 3 seconds behind the game
3 seconds behind. So
they're going to take it to the 4th quarter. They're going to let the clock run down.
Hey, if I've got a 16-3 lead and I can get in the 4th quarter with it, hey, now the clock is Reidsville's worst enemy, Shelby's best friend.
And Shelby will do their best to run out the clock in the 4th quarter. Play a little ball control and try to take home another state championship for the Golden Lions. 16-3 as we head to the 4th quarter, final quarter from Chapel Hill here on Time Warner Cable Sports. Thank you, ladies. The Shelby Golden Lion cheerleaders. They are staying warm by staying active on the sidelines. Ryan Rose with Soupy Campbell, Sam Smith. We just did our 10 jumping jacks here during the break, and we're got our blood fired up. And I saw Sam jogging in place a few minutes ago, so we're all set. Not only are we your friendly announce team, we're in good shape.
Well, some of us are. I know Sam does a great job down on the sidelines. I tell you, I prefer to be up here in the booth where I am.
3rd down and 9. From Chapel Hill, the Time Warner Sports production crew, Ryan, Soupy, and Sam, the 2AA finals. Handoff, Parks inside. Did he lose the football? No, he still has it. He turned around like he lost the football. And they'll give him a yard to the 46-yard line. And here comes the punt unit, and Reidsville has managed to stop them. They gave up a 1st down on that drive, but that's it. 7 plays, 35 yards. Shelby did manage to chew off about 4 minutes, maybe a little bit more than 4 minutes on this drive, but Reidsville will get it back. And they need 2 scores. 2 scores and 2 extra points, and they'll have a 1-point lead, but you can't get the second until you get the first. Punting down the middle of the field, fair catch called for, and fell on at the 13-yard line. It's Pascal back there.
Well, right now,
so
if you're Reidsville, and the thing is, if you're Reidsville, you almost have to throw the ball right now. And Shelby knows it. A running play every once in a while, but you're going to have to advance the ball down the field. You got to go over the top, and you're going to have. They've got to play it just the way they played that last series of the first half. And
so
if they do that,
drill it now?
almost. To me, when you're down 2 scores, you got to almost 2-minute drill it.
You see Jimmy Teague, the head coach,
because the way Shelby's running the ball, Shelby is really controlling the ball right now. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Chris Norman go to that power eye once they come back and just try and run, just shove it right up their face.
Teague, quick out pass. Nice play going up the sidelines. Across the 20 to the 25-yard line, really close to a 1st down. The catch by Ernest Blackwell, playing a little 2 ways, and we talk about that quite frequently at the 2A level. Just get your best 11 out there. You don't really care if they play both ways or not.
It should be a 1st down. Yeah, it is a 1st down. Well, right now, if you're Shelby and they're giving you that formation, you've got to get over there and stop that quick screen. You got to break a corner, has got to break on the ball. Now, not in this formation, but when they put those guys, put that guy behind them, you got to break on the ball and then cover up with 2. They haven't been doing that.
15-4 in state championship finals for Reidsville. This is their 20th appearance all time. The 2nd winningest program in the state of North Carolina. 2nd only to Shelby.
Right. And these 2 programs have had so many great athletes in the past, guys that just really gone on and done real well. And the other thing is they're both really good academic schools too. Their test scores consistently rank up there with everybody else's.
2nd down and 9. Shelby has appeared in the finals 14 times. So 34 state title games between these 2. Flush him out of the pocket. Teague in trouble. He throws it back across his body. He didn't get it out to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be an intentional grounding call.
Yeah, the bad thing about that is you've already lost the down. You're going down. When you throw that ball, it's just like you're saying, give us 5 more yards, and you can't do that.
And the down.
Yeah, the down's going, so you're sacked. You're right there at 5 more yards, not back here. So that's going to really hurt him. Going to put the ball back on about the 6-yard line.
Just to finish up that point, and I know Sam made it earlier, 622 wins all time for Shelby, 583 for Reidsville. That's a lot of wins.
That's a lot of W's.
Intentional grounding by the offense. 5-yard penalty, loss of down.
That's the killer, as Coach mentioned. Yeah, look at that little lion over there.
Yes, sir.
That's a warm lion, too.
Yes, sir. I like that little costume.
That's a nice outfit.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind wearing that one up here myself.
Does that come in an extra large? Because I could use that right now. It's
double
a little chilly
XL
up here.
She's a doll babe, though.
Down back at the 6-yard line. It's the worst thing that could have happened. 3rd down and 29. Teague's got to throw it.
Fumble
in
touchdown.
the end zone. Shelby comes up with a touchdown for a Big D lineman.
I'll tell you what, when you're throwing out of your own end zone, it's the worst thing in the world.
Keon Ross.
They basically ran a delayed stunt. They paused that linebacker a second, then shot him. He saw that, started to scramble, ran right into the defense, and the ball falls, and Shelby falls on it. Let's take a look now. Watch right there. See the linebacker coming up. He reads that stunt. Great job coming outside in and just batting the ball out of his hand. You know, I mean, that's just a great play. And if you're Shelby, it really is beginning to look real good right now. Reidsville's going to have to do a whole lot of stuff if they're going to get back in this ball game.
Corey Brooks, number 33, stripped it out. And a quick timeout here by Shelby. They didn't have the kicking tee out there.
Yeah, they weren't quite ready to. They weren't ready for that quick start.
Defense,
yeah, I know.
Let's send it down to Sam on the sidelines.
Well, you saw the young man, number 62, Kean Ross. He's 6 feet tall, 295 pounds. The coaches say that he's starting to carry that weight very comfortably. He is a senior, not getting a lot of looks right now, but plays like that, putting the pressure on the quarterback and able to get through a good offensive line, may get him some scholarship offers for this game is all over tonight.
No doubt.
Well, you know, the thing people don't understand is state championship teams really, it's amazing. Teams go into state playoffs, and they have a lot of kids nobody's heard of. When they get in those state playoffs, there's very few people playing on the weekends or on Friday nights, and then on Saturday on the finals. Colleges find that out, and they love those guys that played on winners because that means that kid knows what it's like to be in a winning program. So I'll guarantee you with that kind of weight and carrying that weight pretty good, he'll get some people talking to him.
Very active at that size. And
yep.
He'd be a good fit for a lot of the D2 schools in the area if he doesn't get a D1 AA offer.
Yeah.
Extra point, good. Shelby leads by 20 points here from Chapel Hill with just 10 minutes until they get a championship crown back into Cleveland County. By a couple of scores here from Chapel Hill, the 2 AA championships. The first hurdle was conquered there as...
Okay, now it looks like they could be going to an onside kick formation. A little bit early, try onside kick.
Maybe they just want to see what Shelby would do from the formation. No, they try. They walk the dog, and Shelby falls on it. Nice job there by Corellis Murray. Just falls on it right there across that 10-yard mark. And that's where Shelby will start. And now with 2 timeouts left, Reidsville's got to make a big stop. They need a 3-and-out here to get back in this game with enough time.
Well, I'm anxious to see if Shelby goes to their power eye set because they really had pretty good success with that set. And the other thing it does, it keeps the ball usually in the middle of the field. And even if you make a play for no gain, it takes a while to bring that guy down with the huddling to reset the ball. So, and that's what they're going to. They're going to the power eye right now.
Power eye to the right side. Jolly cuts it back, follows blockers, and he'll get him a little more than 5 yards to the Reidsville 45-yard line.
Almost 6 or 7 yards. And that, I was kind of surprised that they hadn't gone back. Looks like we have an injured Reidsville player down right now, and that's not good if you're Reidsville because you don't want any of those guys getting hurt. You know, you need every player you can get, and of course nobody wants to see anybody get hurt.
Trainers come out to get him. That's Dwayne Jones, linebacker.
And it looks like it's an ankle.
And ill afford to lose any of these guys when you're trying to get Shelby into a punt formation.
Right, and particularly when they're lining up in a power and running right at you. And like I said, I think this is a good job on Chris Norman's part and the staff. As I said, I was a little bit surprised they hadn't gone to it a little bit earlier because this is a formation that they haven't had much success stopping.
Reidsville has outgained Shelby by 50 yards in this ball game. Although Shelby has run 13 more plays and has better field position today. But Shelby has absolutely controlled the clock. 7 more minutes of possession in the ball game as of this moment.
Yeah, and he's waiting to the very last minute before he starts his snap count. If you're wondering why he's just sort of standing there, he's looking at that play clock.
It's at 5, at 4, yeah, he wanted to wind it all the way down. Jolly rather, slips the holes and gets a first down to the 35-yard line. He's quick, he's powerful, and now he's playing the role of slippery.
And see, that's a great formation to run a back like Jolly because he runs so hard. And, you know, take a look now at all the guys that are at the point of attack right now. Boom, the 2 lead backs go in there and just open up a hole for him. To me, that isolate with 2 backs leading it up is one of the hardest defensive formations to stop. because as soon as you start squeezing guys down inside, he bounces it outside, or they throw the ball over the linebacker's head on a dump to the tight end. Really a tough formation to stop if you've got the personnel to execute it.
The first down play, Jolly gets to the outside, slips tackles across the 30 down to the 25-yard line. This is the worst situation right now for the Rams. They can't find a way to get the ball back because Jolly is just tearing them up.
And I tell you what, that same thing. There's nothing fancy about what they're doing here. They're running two backs at the point of attack, putting all the linemen on that side, tight end, and then they're giving the ball to Jolly and say, you go right behind those guys, and wherever the gap opens up, it's going to be the A or the B gap. You take it, you run right through it. Don't go wide. Don't get out of bounds, stop the clock or anything like that. Just run straight ahead, and we're going to be fine. We've got a 2-touchdown lead. They can't do anything about it. 6:46 to go.
It's like a whole different offense has come out there.
Yep.
Jolly, this time he's pulled down in the backfield. Nice tackle there by Gary Pickard, number 24.
A little bit funny look on that play right there. It looked like they were maybe going to run a little counter action back, give him the ball on one side and run the backs that way, and he cut back right into a slanting corner, and when he did, the corner made the play. So
second down and 12 and the loss of 2.
now another thing too, remember now, either one of those two upbacks they can carry the football, so don't be surprised to see maybe a little counter action coming out of that. I'll guarantee you they've got a whole series based off that formation.
Play clock's at 2. Jolly slips one tackle, but is brought down after a couple of yards by Pascal, number 9. And Reidsville, with their 2 timeouts, really can't do much right now because they can't get him in a long situation. Now it is third down and 9, and it appears that they have finally called a timeout there. They sense that they could get either a punt or some kind of formation. If they can hit him for a loss, Jolly has just become LaDainian Tomlinson right now. He's getting the ball fed to him on every play. This is how you play clock management. Chris Norman has been there, done that with his team this year.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They just run, just come right at you, and that's all, and it's really hard defensively. I remember one year we ran it, and we had a 245-pound fullback, and we would bring in a 215-pound wingback and put him behind a 295-pound guard and run right at the linebacker. And linebacker looked at me one day and said, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, all I can say is good luck." And that's basically what's happening right now. They're putting some big boys up front of Jolly, running him, and just coming right behind him, and they're just knocking people off of football. Now with third down and long, you may see them go away from that formation, go back to maybe their wing formation. Yeah, they're going with something with a 2-back set. They're going to their I formation right now.
It's pretty deep I. Parks blocks, and Jolly's the man deep. Jolly decides to take it outside, slips one tackle, and gets it to the 20-yard line.
But they went to the I formation, but they did exactly the same play. They just didn't have the near back leading. They put him at a wing back and then tried to widen out the linebackers a little bit. So that's going to bring up a fourth down now and about 8. Actually, about 7.
It would be if they want to try the field goal and make it a 3-score game. Well, it still would be 2 because it would be 16 points. They'd have to go for 2 twice. But a field goal here would be 37 yards, and there's Jolly's numbers, nearly 100 yards rushing today. And then you see underneath 7 tackles and an interception.
Right, that's not a bad day. I know guys would be glad to have that in a month.
An interception and a touchdown in the same game.
Yeah.
And it was a big interception, too, because Reidsville was starting to come back a little bit. Really a momentum-killing interception.
Now, it looks like they're going to go ahead and try for the field goal.
This would be about a 38-yarder from the right hash.
Well, that's the right hash, and he's a right-footed kicker, so he's going to pull it that way anyway. So it's not a bad move.
Tyler Rabb will attempt it. It is up high enough, twisting left, and it is good. Just inside the left upright. Tyler Rabb 3 out of 5 field goals during the regular season and playoffs to this point. Tack on his 4th three-pointer of the year.
Tell you what, he kicks with a lot of confidence. I mean, he really does. For someone that's not kicked anymore, 4 field goals, that's not a heck of a lot, but he really kicks this ball well.
Watch
it go
play.
up.
Wow. And let's send it down to the sidelines for Sam Smith.
You know, it's interesting watching the coaches on the sideline, Coach Teague and Coach Norman. After every one of the plays, by the way, they're carrying our telecast on the Jumbotron here at Kenan Stadium. They're able to get instant feedback. I know, Super, you've sat in the tape room hour after hour trying to find something that happens. They get to see how their defense or how their offense is working immediately after a big play. It's a big plus right here in this stadium, that's for sure, Soup.
Oh, yeah, it's something most 99% of the high school coaches never get to experience, and most college coaches, to be honest with you, unless you get to that 1A level, you don't get to do that, you know, and it does make a difference. Of course, right now, if you're Reidsville, it's really not helping you a whole heck of a lot, though.
Rab's going to boot it away. I think he's going to do another script kick. I saw him talking to him down there. Say, kick it low. Taken at the 12-yard line. Another decent return for Reidsville. They'll get it out just shy of the 40. That's Blackwell again. And here's the thing now for Reidsville. They've got to get 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to tie the ball game.
And they got to do it in 5 minutes and 19 seconds. And that's what as we said earlier, the clock is Shelby's best friend and Reidsville's worst enemy right now. They, you know, if you're Shelby right now, you're playing pass defense. They're going to their no-huddle 2-minute offense. Reidsville is.
They need it because they've got to score so quickly. Shotgun for Teague, pass left side. There's our guy Blackwell up the sideline across midfield, and he'll be taken down just shy of the 40-yard line. And Shelby's given up a big chunk of yards there, but that's what the Rams are trying to do. You mentioned the 2-minute offense. They were successful at the end of the first half up until they tried to go for the touchdown at the end.
And this is the same play they've had success with. They've got to get something. They're attacking that thing outside in. They've got to get somebody getting that pass lane between the quarterback and that quick out. And nobody's blocking that guy coming across. You step right over in front of him, you're going to be in great shape. Now they put him in motion with the same formation.
They're going to go up the sideline, trying for everything. Incomplete. Looking for Pascal.
And that was great coverage right then. I mean, he just went back to chest with him and ran with him step for step, no contact, did a good job of playing pass defense on that play.
It was Preston Roseboro, the guy who got behind the secondary earlier, so we know he's got some speed.
Well, the thing is, they use their skill people and they play them both ways, and that's just the way it is. I mean, you know, you in 2A ball, you don't have the luxury of having 8, 9, 10, 11 skill people that can really run fast. And the guys that use those guys with the best advantage are the ones that wind up playing on Saturday for the state finals.
Here's Teague's numbers. Good pass to the right side on the screen, and I thought Shelby was going to get in there. This is...
Well, they did a better job, but they still let him get...
And Blackwell gets it to the 40.
Right. Well,
let's send it down to the sidelines and Sam Smith.
You know, Super, you guys upstairs have talked a lot about Blackwell tonight. He's 6 feet 205. He, of course, is a top receiver. He's also an outstanding linebacker, and we know what he can do on kick returns. This is another kid that's been getting some nibbles from the colleges, and the fact he's a senior. But a game like this is what he's done tonight, particularly on the return yardage and also receiving the ball. He'll get some more looks before this game is all over.
Yeah, and he's definitely, Sam's right on the money right there. This is a great film to send to colleges because you're sending a state finals film, and that makes a big difference. Don't think college coaches don't look at that.
Showcase type film. On third down, they run the quarterback sneak for Teague on the draw, and he'll be about 1.5 yards shy of the first down, just shy of the 35-yard line. So they need about 5 feet for a first down. It is 4th down now. More importantly than the clock, they've got to get a first down. If Shelby stops them here, this game is effectively over.
Yeah, there's not much you're going to be able to do about it. Big play. Good
Another
call.
quarterback sneak, and he'll have the first down.
Good call. Quarterback draw. Put that personal defender blocker, lead him right up the gut, knock people off the ball. And the thing about it is, now they're gonna stop the clock to give them the first down, but that clock starts again with 4:20, and so it doesn't hurt Shelby that bad.
They needed a yard. They got 2. The clock winds up now. Teague from the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. That burns off about 5 or 6 seconds. And Teague will throw it down the middle. Tipped and almost intercepted.
I'll tell you what, I have been really impressed with the Shelby defenders not interfering and making the plays they've made tonight. They have done a great job of just locking on. Look at this now. They lock on the receiver. They don't touch him. They play the football, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. And and almost get an interception, but we see this week after week at every level from the NFL down where guys don't play the football. They play the football.
Yeah, they hit the receiver.
Yeah.
Jolly tipped it. Montgomery almost intercepted it. 2nd down and 10. 4:09 left. A lot of guys were moving on that play. It looked like maybe the center was late snapping the football because the other 4 linemen took off early. I think they're going to call it on the defense. Interesting.
But somebody must have gotten that neutral zone.
Dead ball foul. Offsides. Defense, 5 yards.
So 5 free yards without the clock moving.
Yeah, Chris Norman, he doesn't like that. That's a dumb call. I mean, a dumb play. When you get in the neutral zone, that's a dumb play. There's no way about it. Anybody's ever played football knows what I'm talking about. All of us have done it, but it's still a dumb play.
2nd and 5. Roll Teague out to the left. He's got a guy downfield going for the corner of the end zone. A little bit underthrown. Was it caught? It was caught, but it is.
Okay, we're waiting on a signal now.
Yeah. He waved his hands to stop the clock. Who came down with the football?
Yeah.
I didn't see a touchback signal. What is the signal? Flag is in the end zone. I guess incomplete, but flag in the end zone.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if both players come down with it concurrently, then it goes to the offense.
Simultaneous catch
yeah.
gives them a touchdown.
But if one guy intercepts it and the other guy grabs it, if the defense and then the other guy grabs onto it, then it's an interception. Now, it's all in the hands of the officials on this one. And it looked to me like, okay, they got pass interference.
Against the defense. Wow. Interesting.
Now, are they calling that pass interference in the end zone?
Let's see. Let's see the play. Let's see.
Pass interference, black. Be a 15-yard penalty, first down.
Nobody came down with it. They were in the air simultaneous catch, but no, the ball came out when they hit the ground.
Okay, yeah. I think what they're doing, they're calling interference on the defender that wasn't involved in the play, that he bumped him off the ball.
And you know what's funny? Neither side likes the call.
No, they're getting booed both ways. So
because Reidsville wants to touch.
Yeah.
And Shelby wants the intercept.
Well, if the ball came down and came out, there wasn't going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, there's nothing there except 15 yards, and that's good field position now for Reidsville, but again, with 4 minutes left, they need to score quickly.
Now, in high school football, I thought that if you had interference in the end zone, it went to the 2-yard line. And that was interference in the end zone.
Teague passes it on the bubble screen to Graves, still on his feet across the field, and he gets in the end zone. Touchdown.
And they're going to get a big penalty, and that's a bad penalty right there.
Well, that's just going to help them go for 2, because they'll be from the 3 to the 1.5.
Because he went down, he dived into the end zone, and then the defender dived on him after he was clearly in the end zone. So,
Julius Graves with the touchdown catch. And just hang on a second.
Right.
A 2-point conversion would make it an 8-point game.
Well, that field goal makes it bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I know.
Bigger and bigger and bigger.
I didn't want to bring that up, but it does merit mentioning that if they go for the field goal at the end of the first half, they're only down 13 points, and right now they'd only be down 7 points right now with an extra point try coming.
Right. And of course that field goal.
We have a personal foul on Black. Be half the distance to go. Extra point.
That makes it easier to go for 2 here.
Yeah. Well, this thing's far from over now as we look at it. At one point in time, it looked like it was, pretty well wrapped up. But right now, with 3:50 to go, Shelby's going to have some kind of offensive series. And Shelby takes the timeout right here.
Calls the timeout. There's the catch. And look how far he goes across just to get 7 yards. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have a 2-point try, we guess, to make it an 8-point game. It's a 10-point game right now.
Relax and let your thoughts drift away in a Stressless, the ultimate recliner. designed to support you perfectly in any position. Relax your body, free your mind in a stressless.
Come, experience Stressless at Inbo Furniture in Cornelius.
Eric Teague to Julius Graves on a little screen pass, and he takes it a totally different way. He doesn't go up the left sideline. He goes all the way across the field and gets in the end zone. And then more importantly, at the end of this play, he gets fallen on right there. And now they go for 2 to make it an 8-point game. If they miss this, they'll need 2 scores. Teague might run it. It's from the 1.5.
Yeah, and Teague's had good success with that.
Run out of clock? No.
No.
There's a flag deep by the umpire. The umpire threw that flag. Illegal substitution against Shelby. What is that? Are there 12 men out there? Let's count them up.
2, 4, 6, 8.
12 men on the field, defense, half the distance.
Yeah, there are 12 out there. There are 12 guys on the field right now.
That's one way to stop the 2-point conversion, but
Parks will come off. Now it's balanced.
Tell you, if Shelby can keep him from scoring here, then you know that the football guys want to win this ball game.
It goes from the 1.5 to the 2-foot line.
Yep.
Why not just go up under center and snap it and run it in? Kind of curious. It's going to be a quick pass out, and it's a good conversion. Blackwell. We got an 8-point game.
Now we come down to, do you onside kick it or do you put it in the hands of your defense? Now the thing is, Reidsville is out of timeouts.
Yep.
And that's a big factor right there in the ball game. And the next thing is, if you onside kick and don't get it, you give Shelby great field position. Shelby doesn't have to go that far then to get down and get in field goal range and just totally put the ball game out of range where you have to score twice again. So, you know, a lot of thoughts right here on what you want to do. I think if I'm Shelby, I really believe probably I onside kick and just hope I can get it back. Even with 350, or Reidsville, I'm getting backwards on the scoreboard here. But if I'm Reidsville, I really think hard about that onside kick. Heck, if you're going to onside kick with 8 minutes to go, you should definitely want to think about it with 3 minutes to go. Beautiful screen pass right there for that 2-point conversion. And that formation's really messed Shelby up. Reidsville's done a great job of coming out with just putting those receivers out, throwing to the guy behind them, and then, you know, letting everybody block outside. It's almost the old Sandlot. We'll throw it out to you and see if our guy can beat your guy.
Well, let's see what happens here. They tried the old walk the dog onside kick where they just kick it and run behind it. There it goes, and guys were offsides there. They did pick it up, but they touched it before it went 10 yards, I think.
Could have a personal foul penalty, too, on that, so because they blew the whistle and somebody really jacked one of the guys up in the Shelby defensive line. We'll have to see what they're calling here. I think they're just going to call the offsides.
Dead ball foul, encroachment on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, repeat.
Now, one of the things I've always said, when they have an offsides on an onside kick, as we watch it right here, I think that they ought to have to kick it 15 yards to get the ball the next time, because it really there's no penalty there. I mean, you know, you're still onside kicking.
You're getting a new try.
Yeah, and I used to argue with the referees about that all the time. They didn't like that, Rod.
You're going to have to contact the high school federation for that rule change. They'll try it again from the 35-yard line. Spiraling, it goes 10 yards.
Scoops it up like a
shortstop. There he is once again. Corellis Murray makes the scoop.
I'll tell you what, that's a fearsome thing if you're an offensive lineman on an onside kick. When you look up there and you know that ball could be coming at you, and you know, we used to share George Litton, who coached me at Lees McRae, and then later on went on to coach at Gardner Webb, and was actually a member of the Shelby School Board. Was a principal at Crest and a member of Shelby School. But he used to have a rule on an onside kick for linemen: if we fell on it, fine. If we picked it up and tried to run it, we were going to run for 2 days. And if we picked it up, tried to run it, and fumbled, then we were dead. Just give our life, you know.
This is Jolly up the middle for 2 yards.
Yeah, he told me one time if I ever took an onside kick back and ran it for a touchdown, that I'd only have to run for a day and a half. So he stressed to me, Campbell, you're not a runner, and so and I learned that lesson well. And most linemen, and that's exactly what Shelby did right there. Just fall on the ball, man. It's an onside kick. We've got great field position. Linemen don't have to be heroes. Even the good hands people, you don't want them trying to advance that thing back.
And you didn't fumble, so you're here alive today.
I'm here alive today. I've gotten a couple of those over the years.
2nd down and 8. Big series here.
Okay.
Reidsville's got to stop Shelby to get the ball back. They don't have any timeouts. Give it to the fullback, and it's stuffed. Let's send it down to Sam Smith.
You know, guys, are looking at this 9-game winning streak for Reidsville right now. They gave up only 17 points coming to the game tonight. Another interesting fact, they were never behind in those 9 games. They're doing something tonight's kind of foreign territory for them. They're trying to come from behind. I tell you what, the Rams are doing one whale of a job, at least trying to steal this from Shelby if they can.
They've come this close, and they are not quitting. They have been in a situation where we thought they should just give up the ghost, but they have fought their way back into this ball game. 3rd down and a long 7 yards.
We're in that power I formation.
If they make a stop here, they could get the ball back with 1.5 minutes. Pitch it back, Parks. This is Jolly, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Dwayne Jones, number 11, was right there. And the Reidsville group has lots of room to celebrate.
Well, now here's the thing is when they put the clock is running right now. When do they put that ball in play? They haven't put the ball in play yet. They have not started.
There it is.
There it goes now. And, that was an 8 or 9 second play. Now, if I'm the punter and the snapper, I'm going to wait until that goes all the way down. That's going to take it to about 1 minute 30 seconds.
Plus the return time.
Right.
They're coming after this kick. Tyler Rabb is going to have a full house in his face.
They took the delay. Okay.
Take the delay. That takes the clock all the way down to 1 minute 27. And it gives Rabb more room to boot it away.
Right. Now remember, Shelby still has a timeout left. Reidsville has none. Now for Reidsville, that means because we get the delay game call. For Reidsville, that means if you complete a pass, you better get out of bounds. You're not going to have that much, time. It's going to be running fast. That clock moves really fast.
Pascal is back at his 17-yard line, waiting for the kick from Tyler Rabb. He's averaging 42.5 yards a kick, and this is a beauty. Fair catch called for at the 20-yard line. And so, 80 yards in 80 seconds.
And that's exactly what they have left. 1 minute, 20 seconds, 26-18, Shelby. And now, this is the way a state playoff game ought to be, though, Ryan. It ought to come down to the last series of the ball game. And that's the way these two teams have both just played fine football games.
The 8s are wild. They need 8 points. So they got to go 80 yards, and they have 80 seconds.
So that's not bad. That's pretty good math for.
Thank you.
For communications, major, that's real good math.
Teague, flags fly. And this is what you don't want to have here late in the ball game, miscues. False start or illegal procedure against the Rams, so now make it 85 yards they're going to have to get.
All right, now 2 seconds went off on the clock. See if they give them their 2 seconds back.
Yeah, well, if they blew it dead, they should get the 2 ticks back, right? But they're not going to.
Nope.
Administrative thing there. 1st down and 15. 1st downs will stop the clock here in high school football. Teague, quick pass to the outside. Was it caught? Yes, caught, but the clock keeps rolling.
Yeah, remember now, that's not a 1st down, son. He didn't get out of bounds.
Pascal makes the catch. He got 11 yards. No tackle on the play. He was kind of on the ground already. Clock is rolling. 1 minute, 59, 58.
I'm going to tell you, as a center, that's the worst feeling in the world when that guy stands over the ball.
He's going to go for a 1st down. He's hit as contact comes in.
That was a clean hit. Nothing wrong with it, though. He came right in as the ball got over his head.
Calvin Brown there to make the hit on Pascal, and now it is 3rd down and 4. A little bit high on the throw.
Right, the throw was high, and the defense was perfect. That's one of the things. These Shelby defensive backs have been on it all night, and the officials done a great job of officiating the secondary. Not calling what could be, but calling what happens. Good job both ways.
3rd down and 4 for Teague in the offense from the shotgun. Quick pass to the outside. Slips a tackle. He will not have a first down at the 29-yard line. Blackwell is short, and that play took a while.
Yeah, it took a while, and the thing about throwing the ball like that and getting the ball, it takes a while to spot the ball.
The clock is still rolling. 30 seconds left. They can't spike it. It's 4th down and 2. They're just using up too much clock here.
Yeah, even if they get the first down.
Teague throws it. It is tipped, incomplete. Ball game over. Ran the wrong route there, and there was Calvin Brown to get there and knock it down. And one more kneel down, and Shelby, who started the season with a double overtime loss at 4A Freedom, has gone 13 and 2 since then, with a loss against Brevard and a loss against East Rutherford. And with 26 points in the championship game, that's enough to get another state title.
And give Reidsville a lot of credit. I mean, they looked like they were totally out of this game, that they should not have even been, you know, at the end, I thought it was going to be a blowout, and they take it all the way down. Good defensive play right here. You don't have to intercept it. It's 4th down. You just got to step on it here.
Yeah, Reidsville gave all the fight they had left and should be very proud of what they did this season after starting the year 3-3, winning 9 straight games, and will fall here in the finals. And look out.
Yeah, they had it ready for Chris Norman. He called them out, went out on the field. But remember now, Chris Norman went to college at Lees McRae College in Banner Elk. He knows what cold feels like.
That's right.
I promise you that. So, but you got to give him and his staff credit. But I tell you, this has been a great game between 2 champion football teams, because Reidsville definitely, you know, when they should have been out of the game, they came back and made a heck of a ball game out of it.
There's the bucket. And there it gets dumped on Coach Norman. He got doused. They kneeled down on it. And the Shelby Golden Lions are your 2005 2AA high school football champions of North Carolina.
And that's a great feeling, you know. I mean,
well, not the ice water.
No,
that's not the great feeling.
Hey, I'll tell you, even that's great, because that means you've just won a state championship. And for those Shelby kids, that's got to be one of the great feelings. That's something they'll remember the rest of their lives, no matter where they go play, and if they play big time or if they go out in the business world. This is one of the great feelings that a player can have, the state championship.
The last time Shelby won a title, Chris Norman was the defensive coordinator. Now his first as a head coach. Congratulations to both he and the Reidsville folks for a fine 2AA final. What a way to cap off championship weekend. They got it to 8 points, and we're driving. The game was in doubt with 30 seconds to go, and that's what you hope for out of a state championship final. Shelby had just enough to hold them off. Reidsville outgained the Golden Lions by almost 100 yards, but good field position, timely takeaways, and a crowd that has been cheering this group on from Cleveland County all season long gets rewarded with a state title, and Sam Smith is down on the field with Coach Norman.
Chris Norman, congratulations. Great championship for you, my friend.
I'll tell you what, our kids just wouldn't quit, and had a little bit of adversity there in the end, and they just hung in there. I'm really proud of them. They're a great bunch of young people.
You didn't have to get it that close just on our part, didn't you?
Well, I didn't need to do on mine, but Reach's got a great football team. They really do, and they do a good job, and it was a great high school football game. Their kids didn't have any quit. They played hard, and they played with a lot of character.
Does this put a little salve on the wounds of last year, getting it this year?
I can promise you this definitely feels better than it did last year. There's no doubt about it.
Chris, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Golden Lions, state champions.
The 2AA championship goes to Cleveland County. We'll take a final break. Let's get the final stats here. The 2 schools, like I said, Reidsville was about 100 yards better offensively, 270 to 187, but the turnovers were killers, Coach. They fumbled 3 times and threw an interception. Shelby's 1 fumble was their only turnover, but we're dominated on the yardage category.
But it's a great ball game. It's the way a state championship football game ought to be.
Here's the touchdown scored by the defense. They forced the fumble, and Keon Ross picks it up one of the touchdowns that the Shelby Golden Lions scored in the championship game. For all of us at Time Warner Cable Sports, we thank you for watching high school football in the 2005 season. I'm Ryan Rose for Soupy Campbell, Sam Smith, Jim Lewis, our entire crew. Thanks for watching a great 2005 season. Congrats to Shelby, 2005 champs.
Three-two deal. Gets the grounder. Mangum. Little underhand pitch, and he's got it. 1-2-3 inning here in the 8th. And North Carolina finds some more offense, down by 2.
Bye. See you tonight.
Love you.
Love you too.